You are now listening to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
My name is DJ Vince Adams. I absolutely appreciate what the Chicago Clubhouse crew is doing for the city of Chicago.
Hey, young world, what's good? It's your boy Bernard Varian, a.k.a. B Twice.
What up? This is Rasheed Davis, former Chicago Bear wide receiver.
Hey, my name is Lemuel Stinson, a.k.a. Lemonhead, formerly of the Chicago Bears.
What's up? My name is C.J. Watson, former Bulls guard and bench bomb creator.
This is two-time six-man all-star baller Ricky Deuces Pierce.
What's up, people? This is Chicago radio legend Rick Party, the voice you hear everywhere.
My name is Pee-wee from the movie House Party.
This is Megan Martinez from the Good and Plenty podcast.
Hey, this is Bubba Ball from the Shits podcast.
Hey, this is Nika from One Shot Wellness, repping from the ATL, dropping some drips on that Chi-Town Clubhouse podcast.
This is Sherry, and you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
You're now rocking with Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
And you're rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast.
Where they think they know everything.
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 But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit.
But they don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But they really don't know shit.
But honestly, they don't know shit.
Hey, I smell something. I smell something. I smell podcast. The Chicago Clubhouse Podcast Show.
They really don't know shit.
You already know what time it is.
You see this Eddie Jackson jersey right here? Take this.
This dude literally just took my soul.
So I didn't like playing with Brett Favre at all.
You could have waited until the draft if you wanted to look at another quarterback. You didn't have to sign Andy Dalton, who is really nothing but a backup.
Evander Holyfield is 58 years old. What you want to fight a 58-year-old man?
But man, he wants to keep fighting.
Because he want to fight him. Okay, it's an exhibition.
But yeah, it's an exhibition because, you know.
This ain't Drago and Apollo Creed, man. Ain't nobody about to.
Man, Martin and Tommy Hearns was an exhibition. You saw what happened to Martin.
This could hurt.
Thanks, Hayden. Nothing but the best.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, bro, tough for real, man.
Yeah, man. He like tougher than some grown folks I know, man.
So that as a coach, your job is to give your players the best opportunity to have success.
Michael Jordan, when he came back at LeBron James' age, he was a straight up nothing.
That is blasphemy on his computer right now.
Because I'm gonna tell you something. Without Dennis Rodman, I couldn't see them winning like they did those second three championships. I can't see it.
I agree.
And now I'm the voice of SportsCenter on ESPN. Now on SportsCenter. Tonight, LeBron James. And whatever.
Do you guys really coach how exactly to tackle correctly? Because I see it all over the league now. People cannot tackle like they did whenever you guys played. But do you guys practice tackling at all?
What up? What up? What up? Welcome to the podcast where we think we know what we're talking about, but oh my God. But we really don't know. I'm not gonna curse, so I'm gonna say we really don't know anything. This ice cream though is the stuff. Peach cobbler ice cream. Oh my God, it is amazing. This is the best ice cream I've ever had in my life. And it's by a company called Creamalicious. Write that down because you got to go get some. If you don't eat peach cobbler, you're going to eat it now because it's so amazing, this ice cream. And they have like a few flavors. They have peach cobbler. They have banana pudding. They have pecan pie. Oh my God. You've got to try it. Creamalicious. You've got to try it. This is not a promo. We are not getting paid for this. It is just great ice cream. So try it. Anyway, welcome to the podcast where we think we know everything, but we know nothing. But what we do know is today the Bears cut down to the final 53. I put that in air quotes because, you know, it's going to change. Some of the parts are going to change throughout the season, but we know who the constants are. And shout out to Ms. Gordon. Hey, Ms. Gordon, how you doing? We know who the constants are. One of them is her son, Kyler Gordon, who is a rookie for the Bears. And we saw him making plays during the preseason. He was making plays the other day. Yeah, he's going to be a savage. He's going to be a savage, and I cannot wait until the season starts. But, yeah, so we have a great show lined up today. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball, too, because we have Chicago hoops legend and NBA. He was an NBA shooting guard and small forward, and he happens to be a current NBA player's father. We'll let him say that when he comes in. But we are happy to have him. So we're going to talk a little bit of basketball. And then, of course, we're going to jump into this football. We got a lot to talk about with that. And after that, we cannot forget about the Chicago Sky. So we're going to have someone talk about that, too, for a few minutes. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. Let me bring in my all-star team. First up, my man who knows every single stat from every single team since the 80s and 90s, basketball and football, and no music today. No music. Because we got shut down partially last time for us, so he ain't gonna have no music today. My man JB.
What up? I do not own the rights to any of this music. I don't own the rights to any music.
You can sing to the people if you want. I put it on mute because I don't want to hear that.
No, if I sing, we're gonna lose every single guest, maybe even my mother. I can't sing to save my life or yours. No.
Oh wow. So how was your weekend, bro?
Weekend was good, man. Weekend was good. You know, just being able to relax with family, and then shout out to the flag football family out there. Always a good time. Just catching up with people you haven't seen. So many, new faces out there and some old ones too. But
did you enjoy that Bears game?
Did I? Man, that's why I said I got a lot to talk about, because the one thing that's glaring for me, you see what happens when Justin has somebody that has faith in him. He looked like a totally different quarterback.
Yeah, he was real comfortable back there. Shout out to the offensive line too.
Absolutely. Which we definitely got to get into, because I see a couple of things. Today was 53-man cut day. And I saw a couple of things that I was just kind of like, things that make you go, But we're gonna drop a gem on that. We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
You know who looked good on that line though? Larry Bourne and Tevin Jenkins.
That's why I said it's a couple of things we don't need to, like, straight up.
Okay, we'll wait.
Yeah, that duo. Yeah,
I'm excited. Hercules. All right, let me bring in the rest of the team, man. He might have the foulest mouth in the city. Yeah, he does have the foulest mouth in the city, but he might try to scale back tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, we're gonna bring in my man, Foul Mouth C.
What's up, fellas?
Foul Mouth. What's up? Oh, you got dressed.
Man, I'm laying in the bed. I'm waiting on my fried Oreos.
Fried Oreos.
You keep saying that. Like, explain. Fried Oreos?
Yeah.
Go ahead and
Change your
explain.
life,
We
brother.
want to know.
Changes your life.
Where do you get fried Oreos from?
Man, you can make them.
Man, I ain't never even heard of that until just now.
Hey, look here. I went to some type of barbecue event and they had some fried Oreos some years back, and I've been in love ever since.
That's like a foul mouth family secret, family recipe.
Hell no, we ain't create that shit. But we eating that shit.
I guess he's that close. Still back on the curses, man.
Nah, I did that last week for Mama Gordon. I'm in full effect tonight.
Oh boy!
So Frank might as well don't even worry about watching this shit on the at work tomorrow, baby.
Get the curse jar. Get the curse jar.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring in the rookie of the team, man. Well, actually, he's not a rookie anymore. Frank the Tank.
Frank the Tank.
I don't like not having music.
The Tank.
What up?
You don't like having that whack?
No, dude. Sony, I'm not going to hold back some swears either, but Sony can kiss my motherfucking ass.
Hey, if there's any Sony reps out there watching,
sorry, but I'm not happy about that.
We said we don't own the rights to this music. Hell, I see that on Facebook every other post.
Yeah. But other than that, hey, what up?
Sony probably doesn't watch this podcast.
Like, yeah, it's just like, what, did somebody report us because we listen to music?
Oh. Hey, that shit look nasty as hell.
I got an idea who. I got an idea who might have reported us.
I think I have an idea who you're thinking about too. So luckily we know they don't watch the show.
No, I literally just feel that they have people out there that have these pay-at-home jobs, and their job is to just surf the internet and say, "Oh, hey, we own that." Ding. Hup, we own that. Ding.
I didn't know Sony owns YouTube.
I wish I had a pay-at-home job. Shit.
Sony own y'all ass.
I'll sign with Sony.
Amazon, I think, owns our ass now.
I'll sign with them too.
So, we're going to get into some round ball before we talk about this football. We got a lot to unpack with that. But we have a Chicago legend, as I was saying earlier. Chicago hoops legend, but he's not just limited to Chicago because he played in the NBA. He played with Golden State. And who am I missing? Is that it?
All's career.
Yeah, okay. I think he did have it. Yeah.
Oh, so he was another lifer, huh? They didn't flip flop.
I think like
he's not like these people who have to run away and get championships.
Right. Shit, he just stuck.
What you talking about, LeBron James?
Yeah, I'm talking about LeBron James.
Hey, shout out, negative shout out to LeBron James. I said a negative shout out. You see what I did there?
He doesn't even get shout outs.
Anyway, so let's bring in Mr. Sonny Parker. Clap.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys for having me on here.
Happy to have you.
Yeah,
happy to have you, Mr. Parker. How you doing?
I'm good. Woke up this morning.
Amen.
Amen to that. Yes, Lord. So, what are you doing these days, Mr. Parker?
I'm enjoying life, retired. I spend a lot of time with my family. Of course, Jabari used to be Sonny Parker's son. Now I'm Jabari Parker's dad. Things have changed a little bit. But now, I just try to do a lot of things in the community and just giving back. Your blessings come when you can bless others.
Right.
Great. It's nice to
hear. Speaking of blessing others, I think you blessed JB up here.
Yeah. Many years ago, I was one of those little bright-eyed kids at your camp. So.
Oh, okay. I appreciate you used to stress me out a little bit, huh?
I think you might. I think you did because I was light-skinned. No, I'm just playing.
Everything's good.
But no, those were some great days. What you've done for the city, and this dates back for those that don't know. Mr. Parker, you've been doing this. If you could just expound a little bit on that. You've been doing this for the better part of the last, 30, 40 years now, right?
Yeah, probably so. When I look at it, time has gone by so fast. I got other people's kids and grandkids. So, each one teach one.
Are you still doing Southside? Are you still going out of Jackson Park area?
I've been doing a lot at Washington Park because we've been there like 20, 30 years. And then, of course, Garfield Park, you know, I'm from Lawndale in that Garfield area. So I kind of spread out from the south side and the west side. So it depends on what days.
Okay. So before the show gets too long-winded, I want to make sure that you drop your information because we do have a lot of young kids that are not affiliated with any AAU specifications, and they would like to just come in and get a good camp, get some training, and I can't think of anybody better than you.
Oh, thank you. You know, a lot of these guys, they playing a lot of games, but we in the lab. We try to be in the studio because, you know, then we go on tour. So we over at Harris Park right now because Washington Park, they had a little fire there and they just trying to clean up the smoke and stuff. So we at Harris Park, 9:30 to 12 on Saturdays.
On Saturday. All ages still? Is that all ages still?
Probably 6th grade through 12th. Then we got a couple of college guys. You know, all the guys are skilled players. We do advanced training. Not knocking the other kids that's learning how to play, but we're not turning down no kids.
Absolutely. Never have. Like I said, it was one of the greatest times of my life going there. Just
thank you.
Watching how you coach, you know, and the energy that you brought.
Yeah, it's all about the relationships. I think more important than anything. You know, we use basketball as a vehicle and a tool. And, you know, it's just a good brotherhood and fellowship.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to hog because I can talk to you all day. Fellas, jump in.
Okay.
I got a story for Mr. Parker.
I know you do.
So, Mr. Parker,
yes,
what do you think of the NBA today versus when you played?
No
Be
comment.
honest. Don't hold back. Be honest.
No
He said no comment.
No comment. It's different, man. They all on YouTube, man. They got their own highlights and music, and you know it's all about the players, ain't about the team. And they good players. We was more skilled and it was more physical back then. You know, everybody's good in their own era, so it's hard to compare. You know, it's some great players, and it's different. You know, it's just more entertainment basketball than real basketball. I think the best game is college. The best players are in the NBA. That's my opinion.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
So why do you say college is the best basketball?
Well, if you look at majority of the guys that's playing the NBA, they didn't do nothing like that in college. They had to play the team game. Seems like it's more individual basketball. You know, ISO and clear out. The bigs shooting threes now. The bigs used to post up, you know, play inside. Center shooting threes. Everything's perimeter. They do the Euro step. They do the step back. They do, you know, it's just not, it's a different game. But, you know, the game doesn't change. So what can you say about it? You know, all the kids, now they shooting from the logo. They used to shoot near the
They say
three-point
Steph
line.
Curry, and they say Steph Curry while they shoot it.
So it's just a different game at different times and different players. So if you look at and one, all them guys playing and one, look at the NBA now. That's what they doing now.
Like, would you say it was more entertaining for you to watch, say, 90s basketball compared to basketball nowadays? Like, what did you prefer to watch?
I like just real basketball in its purest form, you know, how everybody's involved, not just one or two players. We had guys can score too, but everybody was involved in touching the ball instead of guys not touching the ball. So, you know, everybody played their positions, the forwards, the guards, and the centers. Everybody. Now you got your stretch fours, you got it's just different. And you know, things have changed, you know. That's just where it is now.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I feel like every time I'm watching the NBA game, I feel like I'm watching a damn 3-point contest because that's what it seems like everybody does. Just pull up and shoot threes, pull up and shoot threes. That's it.
It's more volume threes than percentage threes. If you look at it, they shooting 30 and 40 threes. And there's only 90 to probably 100 shots in the game, but half of those are threes.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just, like I say, they play a lot of perimeter. Even like when the big man played the two-man game, he don't roll to the basket. It's
It's like a pick and pop.
Yeah, pick and pop.
Yeah.
Pick and pop.
There are still teams out there who still play like that.
But those are the better teams.
Like, and we'll even say it like our Chicago Bulls here.
Yeah.
We don't really have a 3-point shooting team.
No.
Like,
but
I mean,
see,
we're more of a DeMar DeRozan.
Golden State is so good because they share the ball. They get more assists.
Right.
That's all. See, they play it. You know, they get Steph. You know, he shoots and everything. Klay Thompson and Draymond, all of them, but they all share the ball. So the team that share the ball and get the most assists, those are the teams that probably gonna win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, I like Golden State.
Yeah.
I think a lot of screens that they set to get Steph and Klay open are illegal, and the refs don't call it. They just allow
100%
them to sit up there like I remember back in the day they used to call moving screens.
Oh no,
they don't do that no more. I mean, you can sit up there and run straight into the dude and let the other man just completely go. It's almost like he's blocking, like you're playing football.
The way we played back in the days, we go over the top or we run the screen over.
Exactly. Hey, that's a flagrant. That's what a flagrant too now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're booted and fined for that.
You booted.
So
You out of there now.
you know, they all running the same offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't run the triangle all these other different offenses. Pretty much all the NBA teams run the same offense.
Yeah, right. I just don't like the fact that when you got a 3-on-2 or 3-on-1, those guys, instead of attacking the hole, they go out to the 3.
Oh, they'll shoot the 3 on the break.
Yeah.
On the primary break or the secondary break, they going around that perimeter.
Yeah, they don't go fill the lanes. They go straight to the 3-point line. Like,
Back then, if a coach sees a player doing that, they're hitting him in the back of the head with a chair.
Oh, they get it.
They're Bobby Knight.
What's happening, you know, the European guys done changed the game. They're more the skilled players.
Yeah.
Back in the days, whoever was athletic, whoever was physical, whoever can jump the height, those was the better players. Now, if you look at it, the best players in the NBA are the skilled players.
Yeah.
So I want to go backtrack a little bit when you said you all were more skilled back in the day, because I argue with a lot of people that confuse skill with athleticism.
Yeah.
Yes.
There might be players that are more athletic to the untrained eye. You know, because back then, of course, I don't have to tell you, it's guys in your era that was jumping 40 feet in the air like it was.
Oh, yeah, like David Thompson and all that.
Earl Manigault, it was guys that was getting up there.
Everybody can jump.
So what do you think it is that makes that skill part? And when I say skill, it's I look at somebody like a Kevin Durant, who's skilled, 3-level scorer. I look at somebody back in your days, a Rick Barry.
Oh, yeah, Rick Barry.
A 3-level scorer, right? Yeah, why is it that those are still the guys that succeed?
You know, back then you leave certain guys open, that's 2 points. Mm-hmm. See, they got more scorers, but they don't have great shooters. You know, we had guys who can shoot. Like downtown Freddie Brown had 58 against us without the 3. 3 wasn't even in there. George Gervin, Pete Maravich, all them guys, Brian Winters, Junior Bridgman, all them guys, Earl Monroe. So we had Austin Carr. So we had a lot of guys can score, period, and can shoot. See, these guys are more scorers than shooters. That's the big difference.
And like
I agree. Yeah, I agree with how you said that too, because I always, like how JB said, I get in arguments with people about this too. It was like, everyone's like, back then people didn't shoot the threes. It was like, back then the 3 wasn't necessary. You really didn't have to shoot the 3.
Because you look at a player like Tiny Archibald, right? They ain't got nobody in bacon. Tiny, man. He led the league in scoring and assists.
Yeah.
And I mean, they always get into that arguments about Michael Jordan and everything like that. He didn't have a 3 ball. Nobody complains about that. He didn't shoot the 3 ball.
No, he didn't.
How can you complain that he can't shoot a 3 when he never shot it? If you're not going to stop somebody at a 2, why are you going to go and shoot a 3?
The number 2 scorer in the NBA history is Karl Malone, right?
Yeah, he didn't shoot 3s.
Yeah, he can't even dribble.
He was a bad dribbler. I remember that. He really was. I remember watching him.
Stockton, number 1 in assists, so you already know.
Him dribbling was like Shaquille O'Neal shooting free throws. It was not pretty.
Exactly.
And I hate that they do that now when you watch, you know, certain media experts and stuff, and they tell you analytically the 3 is a better shot.
Oh, yeah.
No. But I still see Carmelo Anthony 1-2 dribble pull up mid-range. Kevin Durant still does it.
Yeah.
1-2 dribble pull up mid-range.
They get to the elbows. They get to those spots. And then
You
Klay
got
Thompson
on
gonna go to the corner.
You
So
got on our
LeBron
team with
James
DeMar
play on the
DeRozan.
left side of the court more than the right side. So they get to certain areas where they're effective.
So where do you think the next evolution of the game is? Is it going to be like just now? If you can't shoot the three. Well, no, just like do they have to create a 4-point line now? Because something.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. They're gonna do something different. You already know it's coming.
Expand the court and make a 4. I the way it's going, you might as well.
Yeah, they're gonna play like the big 3 in a minute.
Oh no. NBA rocking jock for real. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. My opinion, I know everyone keeps saying it's supposed to be more entertaining now, but I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah.
It was more entertaining to watch in the early 2000s, 90s, 80s. I was young in the 80s, but still I enjoyed competition, and unfortunately I just don't see
those games wasn't coming on prime time like they are now.
Oh, very
now
true.
You gotta have
very
the
true.
NBA League Pass. You can get ESPN. You get those games consistently. Our games on the West Coast, they was coming late. You up 12, 1 o'clock watching us play. So now these games are coming on prime time and then the networks. So like I say, they make a lot of money.
Absolutely, yeah. But you know what? Something else we were talking about too, Mr. Parker, is you all, especially so that I think it was either your second year or one of those years you first, like 1, 2, or 3. You all came off of a championship like in 75, right? 75.
Yes, 75.
And you all led the league in scoring with like 120 something a game, right?
Oh yeah. Because look at Denver, man. Denver and San Antonio and Golden State, we were scoring a lot of points. It was defense, but we can score.
So that just brings me to this next point. How can anybody say that the game is more efficient now on the scoring level when you all were scoring more points per game without the addition of a 3-point line?
I think because they see the game, the highlights all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They see so much of the highlights all day, every day. That's what they see. They didn't see all of us play all these games and highlights. So It's just they know how to promote the game. Where you can see in real time, and then you can see the highlights. So
because I think the pace of play now is like it's smoke and mirrors. It really is no real pace. It's definitely not an efficient pace. It's just a bunch of up and down, up and down, up and down. And eventually, if I shoot 100 threes, I'm going to hit 30, 35.
Yeah, law of average. Yeah, law of average.
Right.
So
that's not skill.
I was telling people, they were saying defense win championship, offense win the game. You can play all the D. You got to put the ball in the basket.
That's right.
You can make a stop, but you got to score. So offense, and that's what sells. Because you look at the game, look at courtside, you see who all on that courtside. The real fans is way up in 300 level, but all the celebrities and the entertainers, they're on courtside because who can afford to be, in that 100 level of the courtside? So the real fans is at the game, but look where they're sitting at.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a spectacle.
Right, exactly.
It's like a bucket list thing for me is to sit courtside. Like, Jesus.
I've seen the old Chicago Stadium where my mom and them took me to the game, and literally at that 300 level, remember it was that big girder.
Oh yeah,
you had to like those were the true fans,
And there was a seat right behind it,
right behind the girder.
Those were the loudest fans too.
Yeah, the Holler House on Madison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Madhouse. Yeah, Madhouse.
That was, but like just to be there and witness to glimpse, and I'm talking about like not even Michael's time. I'm talking about when it was Artis Gilmore coming in at the and stuff when they were just almost a laughing stock. But that passion in that team that led Chicago, and that's what's going to segue me to my next point. Where did we lose our way from Chicago basketball? Because we used to be some of the toughest players in the world.
It goes in cycles.
Cycles? Okay.
It goes in cycles. Because remember, New York was good, then Detroit, then DC, then Chicago, then LA. So it goes in cycles. It won't stay the same. Because New York was like the Mecca. Then all of a sudden we was the Mecca.
Right.
Then you got all them guys from the West Coast. Then all them guys from D.C. and Maryland and Baltimore. So it goes in cycles.
Do you think we'll get back to it? Because me personally, I had a son that played AAU. He's 6'7" and stuff, played college ball and everything. But that AAU wasn't like, I'd rather go train with you 3-4 days out the week than go play with AAU. You know what I mean?
See, one thing about AAU, you get exposure, but you get exposed. But just as well, I know. They just playing games, game over, running clock. But see, it's good for some players because a lot of the college coaches come out certain times. So they see their players in July, that period, but then they go with their high school team in June. So it's a catch-22. So what you gonna do when everybody's in Vegas? They in Georgia playing in the Peach Jam. They in Orlando. LA. Yeah. So they getting a lot of exposure because their high school teams are shut down, and they, it's a catch-22. So what you do? So with my son, he was traveling a lot, but I didn't like. He was scoring 30, 40 points a game, but he's playing all that individual basketball. I said, that ain't real basketball. That's some pro-am, clear-out basketball. So I had to monitor that and making sure he's playing the game the right way.
I'm glad because we are pro Jabari. We wanted him here and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to you and what you all and your family for what you all did.
Thank you.
But like you just said, like all that one-on-one, and then it transitions today because now I'll look at a kid, real gritty, real fundamentally sound, that might give that exposed star fit, but we won't hear from him anymore because they didn't put any money behind him.
Yeah.
And I think
like,
that is
remember how those guys was going to the camps, and then the best players coming from the hood and project, they couldn't afford to go to them camps. So, some of it is hype and overrated, but you got other players can't afford to go to them camps and get that exposure to get ranked.
Right. I remember one AAU season cost us $1,400, and I was like,
"Oh yeah, exactly."
We still got to pay for travel and plane and all that. I'm like,
right.
Oh no.
Yeah. Then certain programs, they have certain guys don't pay, and other guys have to pay.
So, Mr. Parker, I wanted to ask you, since we have you on, did you have a lot of interaction with the Bulls management when Jabari was playing with the Bulls?
Initially at first, with Gar and then Paxton, initially in the beginning, then things went south. A
lot of people feel like
Fred. I liked the Fred Hogan. I liked him. But then when Borland got the job, Borland was Jabari's workout coach. Then things kind of changed with his role. I think he was second on team in scoring, led the team in rebounding, but they went a different direction. Unfortunately, it happened.
So a lot of people are thinking that it's definitely because of Gar Pax and Jim Borland. The reason that we lost a good player in Jabari.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I think everybody agrees with that one here.
Yeah, everybody agrees with that.
Hey, you talking about some people that was mad, boy?
Yeah, it was.
Man.
But, it's a business. Things happen. We move.
Like you said, business first.
But there's people out there who just don't understand the business.
Yeah.
They think that they understand the business, but they don't.
I just got a text message. A gentleman by the name of Eddie Bias told me to tell you how you doing.
Oh, okay. Tell him I said hello.
All right.
Eddie Bias. Yeah, we live on the same block.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, I live on 19th and Homie. He live on 18th and Homie.
Okay, right there. Neighborhood guys. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I wanted to ask one thing too, and it was something that I always like asking about people who played back then compared to people who are playing now. How do you feel when you're hearing about these people taking days off, taking practices off, like taking a few taking a back-to-back game off because of soreness or something like that.
I watched one player, not name him, score 50 points, right? Next game you don't play. I didn't see where he got hurt. Oh, he can't play back-to-back. then they're taking days off and they're cheating the fans, man. See, so it's like you buy a ticket. Say, for example, you playing L.A., they don't come to your place on one time. Some of the players don't even travel with the team. They only sit on the bench. And, it's just different. But I think things going to change with that collective bargaining contract come up. Because I think
I love that about
players,
Adam Silver.
I agree.
They want to play on certain teams to recruit guys to play on their team. And then they don't want to be on that team. Now they want to be traded.
Yeah. That's another question now. How is it that these players today are so much better? But like you said, who plays 82 games anymore? Like I'm starting to think they're a little soft.
Those strong, defensive-minded, hard-working players who don't give you the points are the only ones playing 82 games.
I don't understand it. They got a personal trainer and then they got a chef. But it's like, come on.
They got the free massages at home and everything too.
They spoiled and they soft. It's just that simple. They spoiled and soft. They've been sitting up there. Like you said, they got their own personal trainers, their own nutritionists, and all those type of different things. And they've been spoiled.
So it's like what Larry Bird said. They get a hangnail. They out for 3 weeks.
Yeah, right.
Playing with a cast
and the money's too big.
Yeah,
you're
getting money now.
Like what? The 12th man on the bench is getting what? $5 million?
Oh yeah.
And remember, it's fully guaranteed too. So what's the incentive for me playing?
You know what? I told them, man, just pay them after the game. That's what we do.
You should.
Pay them like the NFL.
That's what you get paid.
Pay them hourly.
I like that. If you play,
pay them after the game.
Get paid.
Yeah.
Now you
like the NFL. NFL players, the reason why they out there and they be so protective of themselves is because their contracts are not guaranteed.
No, it's not guaranteed. They just get that big signing bonus, but none of their stuff is guaranteed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
how would you get paid though? Like hourly by shots? Because James Harden would be averaging like $250,000 a game then. From how
well, they got a lot of incentives. They got a lot of incentives.
Yeah, I remember somebody had the nerve to say James Harden was the greatest scorer of all time.
And then he gained 40 pounds in his neck.
Yeah.
It's a lot of delusional people. See, it's a lot of fans out there, but there's not a lot of students of the game out there.
No.
Very few students of the game. And I think that's where the disconnect comes in conversations. Like we can talk about you and be right on par with everything that you say, and we're like, we're talking to a legend, and he's telling us that we're right.
It's like, I don't argue with people. I said Will Chamberlain got 71 NBA records, so I don't know, man. He got 71 NBA records. I don't care what era you're talking about. He got 71.
Yeah, that's NBA records.
Nobody's doing nothing with him.
So, he went to Kansas on a track scholarship.
Right. That tells you all. Talk about athleticism, right?
Yeah, then he lift all them guys, So everybody's good in their own eras. Then, Bill Russell got 11 rings out of 13. So, everybody want to get into that argument about I think you the best in your era, because we don't know how you're going to be, because it can go back and forth.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I don't know why you just can't have goats of all eras.
So then when someone says Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player ever, you're like, oh no, that's bull. That's bull. He was the greatest.
I was looking at John Havlicek and I was looking at Jordan stats. They're almost similar.
Yeah.
I know that's scary, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. Because nobody even brings him up at all.
John Havlicek didn't even start for the Celtics.
But I mean, the one difference between nowadays compared to then too is if you told Michael Jordan he's the greatest of all time, he said no, I don't.
He won't say it.
I'm not going to say I'm the greatest because there were greats before me. You ask somebody now and be like, "Yeah, I made a shot."
You gonna say he was greater than John Havlicek? He gonna say that?
Yeah, but I'm just saying his stats with John Havlicek and him is kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at all the games and points and assists and all that other stuff. But
But you brought up another name earlier, Mr. Parker, where I'm looking like how many people forget that all this ball handling and and one stuff they're doing now. Look at what Pistol Pete Maravich was doing in the
Oh, we won't even talk about him, man. Pete, I had to guard him.
Talk about it. Hey, he had that ball on a string.
He was dribbling on the back of his dad's pickup truck with his ball handling. And he had 44.4 career-wise in college. And then the best player probably was Kareem. He was always the best player on every level he played on. That's hard. His freshman team beat the number one team in the nation because, you know, he couldn't play his freshman year.
Right, he couldn't play
ball. UCLA, and he was a freshman. They beat that team. Wow. So Kareem, you know, imagine him being the best player in high school, college, and then, you know, the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. But he don't get no credit, you know, of being that type of player.
If you don't have him on the Mount Rushmore, like, that's crazy.
Oh, man, you can't stop that sky hook. We can bet the house on that. The other people going homeless.
I have a little bit of a angst and an extra grind towards LeBron James, though, because as great as it is what he's what he's accomplishing, some of that longevity has to come into play. Because I like when somebody says, who's the greatest running back? Somebody will say Jim Brown. Somebody will say Barry Sanders. Nobody ever says Emmitt Smith, and he got all the records.
Yeah.
So I look at it like the same thing with LeBron James. Yes, he's great, but is he the greatest?
You know,
more skill
about LeBron. I like LeBron. I think, man, he's different. You can't compare him because he's so big, man. He's bigger than most.
Big and fast. I mean, he's unstoppable.
But the one person that they don't ever talk about, and they should, is Kobe Bryant.
Oh, absolutely.
Everybody passes up on Kobe.
They
ever since it went from Jordan to LeBron, everybody passed up.
I don't know why, man. Yeah, they don't never talk about Kobe as much as they talk about LeBron.
Yeah, and again, I mean, when we're talking LeBron, like, I mean, nothing against what he has accomplished, like Jamie said. Like, you cannot, it's amazing what he accomplished. But I'm sorry, like, he doesn't play defense.
No,
he doesn't.
Well, not anymore. He hasn't
Kobe Bryant played defense.
7 years.
Michael Jordan played defense. Larry Bird, Magic, all those people. Kareem played offense and defense. LeBron James says, I mean, I'll look good on defense when I'm free safety blocking you when nobody sees.
Oh yeah, catch you from behind.
Yeah, I mean, that looks good and all, but you never see him guarding the best offensive player on the team.
No, he won't do that. See, one thing about
I know he is a good defender, but he just doesn't. And that's why
he's afraid to be exposed at certain levels because right now, I mean, I can't speak for him. I can only speak to what my opinion is. But to me, he's the most polarizing superstar that like everybody should like him, but everybody doesn't.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think that kind of plays on his psyche a little bit.
Yeah, I agree.
It does.
And I mean, it's not all on LeBron too. You can blame social media on that too.
Yeah.
Because it's always LeBron, Michael. Nobody talks about Kobe in the middle. It's
don't talk about Kobe. If you look at all Kobe's moves and stuff, and you put them both side by side,
mirror image.
Yeah, the image. And Kobe came out of high school too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Same with LeBron, and they had an extra 4 years on somebody
like
Michael.
With the Lakers, he never wanted to go anywhere else.
So, Mr. Parker, you said earlier that you had to guard Pistol Pete. Tell us about some other guys you had to guard that might have been a challenge for you.
And I had to guard, of course, Magic, because we in the same conference, you know, with the Lakers. So I had to guard George Gervin, Dr. J, Bird, because, you know, I played the 2 and the 3. Then sometimes I played the 1 and the 4. So I always had to guard the best players.
Wow.
And, you know, all those guys are great. Even the guys that you see on the bench. You know, when I used to play in the summer league, I was scoring 50 and 60 points. But then when the real league started with the NBA, those guys you think that wasn't all that good, they were just that good. But all those guys in the NBA, they all can play. You don't can contain them. My whole thing is you can't score if you don't get the ball. You know, you ain't gonna be. Because if you look at the Bulls, they got great defensive players with Rodman, Scotty, and Jordan. So why the other team had 100-some points? So you just want to contain people and make stops. But It's just like you ain't gonna stop nobody from shooting the basketball, whether it goes in or not. Ain't nothing you can do. You just gotta contain them.
Yeah.
So out of all those guys you just mentioned, if you had to say who is the toughest, who would that be?
Well, of course, yeah, Pete Maravich, but I had to guard Earl the Pearl Monroe. Dr. J was okay, but probably for me with Pete Maravich. Yeah. Because he can handle the ball and he can shoot. Then he plays without the ball. And then of course John Havlicek, I was similar to him because he don't get tired. He runs pretty much all day. But my whole thing playing defense, I had to guard David Thompson so I can get him on the first step because he's real quick and athletic, so I could beat him to his spots. So, but it's just trying to contain him. But Pete Maravich was for me the hardest.
You know who
reminds me of Pistol Pete? Or that was Utah Pete?
No, when he was at New Orleans with the Jazz.
I mean, not Utah, but New Orleans.
Before they moved to Utah.
You know what player today reminds me of Pistol Pete a little bit, the way he dribbles and shoots? Kyrie.
I knew you.
When he plays.
Kyrie.
Kyrie reminds me a lot of Pistol Pete by the way he.
Yeah, he's got a lot of trickeries, man.
Yeah, man.
He can handle that ball.
Yeah,
man.
he a wizard with that ball, man.
Yeah, it's hard to guard people like that.
Yeah.
Steph was good with the ball, but Kyrie, that's a whole different species.
Yeah. Is there a team that you follow now?
You know what? I don't watch NBA. I only watch when my son play. I keep up with the score. I'm getting better. I call. I say, man, what's the score? And I can turn the TV on to see him, man. It's just, I don't know if it's some type of nervousness or, I can't control it. So I just started going to the games recently. But, I'm getting better, but it's hard for me to watch the games live.
Okay, I totally get that. I totally get that.
Absolutely.
That I fully understand.
You said you don't even watch Jabari.
Right.
I walk out at halftime. I walk out at halftime, man. It's just the nervousness.
Right. I hear you. Okay.
I totally understand, brother. Yes, sir.
So when you were playing for Golden State and you would come back to Chicago, how was that experience for you?
Well, everybody in the neighborhood treated me the same way because I, just growing up on the West Side and, being around my friends, because we all went to the same grammar school and the high school. And see, one thing about the West Side is a little different than the South Side.
That was Farragut, right?
Yeah, Farragut. So, my parents went to my high school. So I'm on 19th Street, school on 23rd. I walked to school every day. So Marshall was there. Then you got Collins, you got Crane, Austin, Manley, Creegier, Cooley High. So all of us live in the same neighborhood, but we went to different high schools. Mm-hmm. So we played outdoor tournaments a lot. We didn't play a lot of indoor. Playing inside was like a luxury. Mm-hmm. But we played all our tournaments outdoors. And then the whole neighborhood can see you play. So it's like a lot of bragging rights.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Because, Bishop Don Juan was our sponsor. So we wore green and gold. So I didn't know nothing about that. Green for the money and gold for the honey.
Wow. Yeah, I never knew that.
I didn't know that either.
I didn't know Bishop Don Juan, Magic Juan, and we were just playing because we have Nike to sponsor us and Reebok and Under Armour sponsor. We had those type of sponsors.
So y'all was slick then.
We had a pass, so we can go ahead. Big John was my coach for the Zulus, so we go all over the place playing because we had a pass and we had protection.
Yeah, protection. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something, but I just totally lost it.
That happened.
It was rough.
I totally lost it.
Yeah, it was rough back then. I mean, it's still kind of rough now, but back then it was real rough.
Yeah,
That pass came in handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine walking up on Magic Don Juan in the 60s and the 70s? Like what?
Man, I had to go to Cape Town, man, and going over there because I lived on the other side, and but then nobody gets shot at or killed. We get chased. That's about all. But after a while, they kind of knew because I lived on the other side of 16th Street, so I couldn't go over there to BBR and all them places. So once I got my name and notoriety, I was able to go through the city a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah. That's crazy. Like these kids today, they don't know nothing about playing on the playground.
Oh no, they don't play out.
They inside, air conditioning, everything.
Hey, we get one pair of shoes, man, for the whole year. Go to Jewtown, Kelly. That was it. They got shoes to play in, practice shoes. Then they got shoes after the game. Then shoes go out with. Man, they got all these different the fashion.
I be looking. They be wearing all these different leggings and sleeves. I'm like, oh my god, boy, everything's about style.
Our uniform, we get a T-shirt and mark and just put your number on there, your name. That's it. And let's play. Sometimes we go skins and shirts.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it used to be, skins and shirts.
Skins and shirts, man. So, it's a different culture, but, I ain't knocking them because we paid the dues, and then, we try to make life better for them and, take care of them.
Yeah.
And you did just that, and we thank you for, like I said, for paving the way. You always came home and gave back to us, man.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Coach, we salute you, and we thank you so much, man. And, again, I want to, one more time, tell everybody where they can find you. You said Saturdays at Harris Park.
Yeah, Saturday over at Harris Park on 62nd and Drexel.
62nd
9:30 to 11:30 all year round. We locked in.
Yeah. And Mr. Parker, you got a brother named Anthony, right?
Yeah, that's my cousin, Anthony Parker.
Oh, your cousin, yeah. I used to work.
Talks a lot, kind of long-winded, ain't he? Hey, he know everything and know everybody.
Man, tell me about it.
But we appreciate you guys, man. Keep doing what you guys doing, man. Be well, be safe.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, Mr. Parker.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Great, man. Great, man.
That was a walk down memory lane, man. Like I told you, man, between Washington Park, Jerry Ewing and them over there at Jackson Park, like, if you went to Sonny Parker's camp, you actually could play a little bit. That was one of the greatest things. Oh, yeah.
You got a sense of humor, too. I like it.
Oh, could you imagine if you was just sitting up with a drink and just talking story-wise?
Oh, man.
Like I told you the story, he used to tell us Rick Barry was like a stone cold killer. When we were doing our camps, Rick Barry was a killer, man.
Yeah, Rick Barry, huh? With like, the underhanded free throw.
Yep, like all those guys, like, man.
It's grammar shot.
That and then one thing I want to say too is you look at how many people from Chicago, and he's just loved and revered even today. Whether you came up in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, he's a mainstay. He's a staple in the community of Chicago.
Yep.
The basketball community of Chicago. That's cool.
Shout out Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker. And shout out Jabari.
Jabari. He's still getting it in, right?
Yeah, he's still getting it in. I think he's a free agent at the moment.
Hey, Bulls, we could use some help at that 3-4.
Oh yeah, we definitely can.
The Bulls ain't gonna do it.
Just saying, man. Like, they need to start righting some wrong, but I digress.
They ain't gonna do it. Yeah, man. So switching gears.
We know T happy about this.
A lot to unpack about these Bears. Man.
Hold on, let me get
ready. Final 53.
Is that swear jar?
I wipe your face for this.
Yeah, look, I had to look. Ooh, let me pat down.
You gotta get a swear jar ready for this one.
Hey, Frank, look.
I really gotta get a swear jar. Something. I gotta figure out something.
So, a big key to the Bears' success the other day was the offensive line. But there are still some questions about how consistent can that offensive line be. And it's like moving parts, interchangeable parts. Well, how much are you going to interchange those parts? Because if Tevin Jenkins is getting used to right tackle, why you going to switch him to left? That's a different technique, I think.
It is.
But we're about to talk to a real one that actually knows the mechanics of the offensive line. Because, yeah, we think we know, but we don't know shit. We don't know shit. So
you said you weren't going to say shit, even though I knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Especially when Foul. Why you muted, Foul? Go ahead, swear.
It all up. So I say shit. But we are going to talk to Bears alumni Qasim Mitchell, and he definitely knows the mechanics of all those positions on the offensive line. So let's bring in my man Q.
What's up?
Man?
Nothing much.
Good to see you,
man. Welcome back. Appreciate you.
You got more gray in the beard than you had last time when you were here.
Hey, look, man. Hey, man. Hey, look. A, I'm trying to keep up with you. And two,
amen. Thank you.
You know I got about 40 kids running around. Look, you see, I'm hiding in my daughter's room right now because I got a certain amount of time before y'all start seeing kids come all over my back and shit just gonna start flying. Oh, I said shit too, but stuff gonna start flying all around.
You're all the way live.
Hey, that might be the safest place to be. You know, kids ain't never in their room.
Right.
So we got to dig right on in because I got some questions, Q. And
all right,
the biggest question I have, I'm gonna let you have the floor with this first one. Do you have faith in what Ryan Poles is doing with this offensive line? What just happened today?
I mean, I have faith, but they have to commit. Like you can't, like you guys were talking about before I came in, you can't have a guy working at right tackle and then all of a sudden move to left or move to left guard or right guard. I mean, yeah, the footwork's similar, but you need that not camaraderie, but you need that cohesiveness to know that, okay, I'm gonna take this step and my guy's gonna be right here and have my back. They just need to gel. They're all young. I think the oldest dude's 7 years, white hair. And I mean, he's still.
Unless you're counting Reef or Riley Reef at the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's I think our aged one that we got at the.
He's not projected to start though, is he or no?
No, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
I
don't think so.
We got him thinking he was going to be our solution at right tackle.
Paid him solid money too. I didn't think we'd pay him that much to be a backup.
And they cut Schofield today. That's why I said after what happened today, I'm kind of wondering, like, did he jump the gun a little bit in your opinion? Because, like, hey, what I saw between Bourne and Jenkins, if you like mess that up, hey, he got to be on the next day smoking. They got something going on.
He's definitely taking a risk, but I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It could be he might want to have faith in the young cats because if it works out, then one of the long story tradition about the Bears about us big boys being shitty is going to change because they're all young and they got years to work and build people together. So I think maybe he's throwing his eggs in that basket of the future, and we might take a couple bumps and bruises, but they're good enough to keep Fields upright and safe, and he knows 1, 2, 3. All right, let me get them feet chopped and get ready to roll. So I mean, I think in the long run, it could be very valuable, but like I said, it could shoot him in the foot too.
Yeah, but I think like when we were talking Jenkins though, like right tackle to left tackle, now to guard, it was like, is that something that Ryan Poles and that offensive unit see? Because from what I hear, he didn't have the greatest of footwork to be a tackle, so that's why they moved him to guard. And he's shining at guard right now, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I mean,
he's taking people like crazy right now.
It's almost like pretty much protecting him. Like he has a lot of great attributes, big and strong, and if his feet ain't quite right, you move him inside. I mean, the most he'll have to do is pull around, and we know he'll run through somebody. So it's a lot easier and a lot more compact to work in that little bit of space than out there on the island at tackle, where you can get exposed if you have pretty much any flaw you got, defensive end through film study or whatever, they're going to expose it.
Okay, so back up a bit. Was he misscouted then coming out of Oklahoma State as the next left tackle? Because remember, he was actually drafted to be our left tackle.
By a dumbass general manager.
Going to right. Well, I mean, we gonna let Pace do what he drafted him off of something he saw. But to play, and you know as well as anybody, you couldn't have 3 more different positions.
Oh yeah.
They just scout him, misdiagnose him from jump, and Poles ends up, like you said, being like the smartest guy in the room. Because Poles was a former lineman himself.
Right.
But just that mauling aspect. I look like what's my man's name? Quentin Nelson. How he's just got that grit, that nasty, that just go, whoever's in front of me, I'm trying to destroy you. I saw that from Jenkins the last few games, and I liked it. Right. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, I mean, he could have went in. I mean, it could have went anyway. Like a draft, you could have like the GM or whoever saying, "I like this dude," and he go talk to. I mean, he's going to talk to the coaches, and they might be like, "Well, maybe not," but at the end of the day, it's going to be his call. So, I mean, it could have been where.
Wait, is Poles' call or is Coach Eberflus's call?
As far as like the drafting, when they draft him for left tackle, like they got that part. I mean, they consult the coach, but at the end of the day, they can be like, you know what, I'm going to take this guy and make him whatever we need to make him, and that doesn't always work because I mean, he might not have fit in whatever the offense was last year or whatever the scheme was, or he might have been like a quick set guy and we get the ball out quick and not be able to hold up. I mean, that's what it leads me to believe when they're talking about his feet and stuff. Like maybe he's more tuned for more like a play action offense or something where he can use his strength and his attributes to be more successful. So, I mean, it really comes down to just knowing your coaching staff, which we've had a lot of turnaround, and knowing their offense and what they want to achieve and what's going to fit into their mold. Like we can draft 5 slapdicks and then all of a sudden they be really good because they fit into what they're trying to do and they become all pros where they came from Western Mountain Outback State U or something and you've never heard of.
I mean, let me ask this though: if you have a bad back, can't that affect your footwork? Because coming out of college, he had a bad back. He missed pretty much all of last year because he had a bad back. That can really take its toll out on your footwork too. So that could be another reason to maybe would that kind of protect your back a little bit, moving you to guard?
Well, your back is it's one of those things. It definitely affects your footwork and your movement and everything you do. And put them in a tighter space, that definitely would help. But you got to think, I mean, if your back's messed up, one of the downsides of playing inside and guard, you're right there going. Like you don't have that little extra space that you might have as a tackle. You're just in there hitting. So, I mean, you feel like the jamming and the back and forth might affect the back as well. So, it's kind of like what's more important.
Yeah.
Which I guess
check this out. Oh, my bad, Q. We got a question from Alex. He says, what's your prediction for our Bears?
Dang, already?
Yeah, I was hoping we would have got that a little later on, but.
Hey, somebody answer the question.
Hey, all good.
Being a Bears guy, I feel like.
Now, remember our schedule now. We got
I was just going to say, we still got that schedule in here, right? I could
definitely playoff team. I'll give us the playoffs.
Really?
So
I think so. I think we don't know. I mean, Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers lost his target. He thinks he owns it. I just want to show him that he doesn't own Chicago. But, so I'd say as long as we beat the Packers, I'll take that too. Yeah.
But we got a few people.
I think we got a lot of guys. I think a lot of people are going to sleep on us mainly because we don't have the guy that people are like, okay, we need to stop him. But we got, I mean, the closest thing would probably be Fields and Mooney, and they're not like.
It's going to be a killer combination.
Oh yeah, and that's what I'm hoping people sleep on that, and then they just like catch a lot of people off guard, like shit, these guys can actually play. All right.
But you know what? They did that in 2018 because tell me. In 2018, who was the guy that they automatically knew was going to be the guy on offense?
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Valley.
Yeah, exactly. They caught people off guard, and that's why I tried to tell a couple people, I said, you look at our schedule, we got one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, and not only that, so far it looks like that we have people that's in place that looks like they're competent and know how to run an offense. Mm-hmm. People forget.
Finally,
Nagy was fucking terrible last year.
That's a swear.
And they still came out with 6 wins, and there were actually a couple that
they had one of the hardest
up on. They could have won 8 or 9 games last year.
They had one of the hardest schedules in the NFL last year.
Yeah,
too.
and they had like the third to top 5 hardest schedule in the NFL last year. This year they probably got a bottom 5 schedule, and someone that so far looks like he's competent in running the offense. So I can't sit up there and say like, oh yeah, they're gonna win 4 games or 2 games or however many ESPN sits up there and says that they're gonna win, and these so-called experts got them winning as well.
The Stephen A. Smiths of the world, huh?
Right. They ain't no fucking expert.
Right.
They don't know more than we do.
Yeah, and we don't know shit.
Right.
I will say though, I'm intrigued to see, like, one of the big things that will dictate how we do is, for the first time, not the offensive line, but the defensive line. We got some frail cats up there. Now, I ain't worried about us in pass rushes, but like we get like up against the Dallas, the people that are built to run. I mean, are they gonna stand up?
Because we don't have Akeem Hicks in that center.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
we don't, and that's gonna be a scary thing. I agree.
Eddie Goldman.
Well, I saw today Angelo Blackson is slated to start at that 3 technique, and they moved Jones over to the 5, and Kyrus Tonga is a backup now. But I want to touch on that line one more time before, because you and Tevin similar 6'7", 6'6". You and height. How big of a change do you think that would be for him, and beneficial wise? Because it looked like David Montgomery likes running behind that team.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to benefit him more, in my opinion, because you get out of the tackle, you kind of like the DBs on the O line, so you're trying to get out there and that 2-point look good, make sure your socks right and your gloves right, and you kind of finessing a little bit out there.
Right. You want you in the spotlight.
Exactly. You get down there in the middle 3. I mean, that's some dogs. You're gonna get hit in the mouth, or you're gonna have to hit in the mouth. So it's gonna help him keep his pads down, and he's gonna fire off, which is gonna help him on double teams and getting up the linebackers and all that good stuff. So I mean, I think it'll benefit him, especially being a taller guy, because you can't sit up there like this and looking good. You got to get down there and be ready to roll.
Down, right? Yeah. You can't.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of a player that the Bears drafted not too long ago.
Kyle Long.
Exactly. Started out as a right tackle, moved him inside the guard, and the man was a 3-time Pro Bowl at guard until he had some type of injury issues.
Absolutely.
But the man he was very successful.
Hopefully that could be the case. But I was just
we're all hoping.
I would think, I don't care how much
attitude too.
Your Poles and your Eberflus, you do not break up that tandem right now, because they got something brewing. They definitely got something brewing.
And especially a healthy David Montgomery, how you said.
Yeah, didn't he look good? I mean, I know it's
Mike, for somebody who had his first game back, damn. Like
he ran with purpose. He was angry. That one run where he cut right back up the middle, one step, plant and gone, and he shoved old boy down and looked at him like, man, I do this. I was like, yeah, we talking Bears football.
That was so bad.
I wanted to snatch Brian Griffin for holding on that play. Because yes, David Montgomery, man, he was, like you said, JB, he was angry. He mushed
literally like shrugged the ball. That was like shrugging the ball.
I loved it.
And I know that got to make you feel good as a line, because that y'all opened up holes. Like, that was part of the problem last year. Like, we don't run the ball because we don't open the hole. Well, we don't pass protect either. So what do we do?
And I'm going to tell you,
got that Aldi's internet going again, man. I told him, man, you got to switch to Comcast, somebody, AT&T. Look at Aldi's internet, man.
Like, I'm going to tell another thing that I loved with that offensive line, especially this past preseason game. When Justin Fields got that late hit again, every single offensive lineman, including tight end, was in that guy's face.
Yes.
You never had that with the marshmallow Matt Nagy coaching this team. Never. And the one time you did, you had a stupid offensive lineman who I don't even know if he's playing anymore, slap Kevin Jenkins across the back of the head.
That was he down there in Atlanta.
I'm actually really forgetting his name right now. He probably went to Atlanta with all the other 40s.
Jerome Affetti.
He's probably in Atlanta.
Jermaine Affetti. I think he is in Atlanta. No,
oh, you got to be kidding me. I made that up.
No, I promise you, I believe he's in Atlanta. Like half of the Bears from the last 3 years are in Atlanta now. I don't know why. Like, even look it up. Kasim, you go laugh. Phil Emery and Ryan Pace are in Atlanta.
Really?
The
Yeah,
last two
both
GMs
of our
are in
last two
Atlanta.
GMs were in Atlanta now.
I don't know what Arthur Blank got going down there, but he trying to, whatever. Home Depot, Builder Square, same shit. I don't know. I promise you this is my last thing on the line because I know we got positions. Why? Okay, the Schofield thing, I know Lucas Patrick got to come back from the head. He's supposed to play week 1. The Schofield thing, I'm a little foggy on. I get Latavius Simmons. Why do we keep saying Mustapher?
Because you don't know if your center's
because Olin will whoop your ass if you don't.
That too.
hey, you go Olin, so I'm not telling you that, and no shade against Olin, that's his boy. But why do we keep him? Because I'm telling you right now, if I could get some other guard play, remember we drafted Cody Whitehair to play center.
I don't know. I thought Whitehair should
play center
last preseason game, in my opinion.
So why keep Mustard? Like why? Like this is bothering me.
I just feel like they
help a brother out, Q. Help a brother out because I'm about like every time I see him on the field, I want to throw something because I'm like, hey, yeah.
Sorry, Olin. I still want you on the show, Olin. And if you're on here, we won't talk about Mustapher. But until you are on here,
he might only come on if I'm not on the show that week because I'm killing.
Let me know when JB ain't on there, then I'll come through.
Right, because but no, seriously, because when you would kick over the guard, sometimes I know you would be like, "Hey, man, I can't take both these dudes." Like, what? And it's like, man, like, is he man to man? I ain't even questioning because you in the NFL. You in the NFL. You the upper echelon. You top of the top of the top. Is the boy soft?
I mean,
be honest. Just go. You're good.
Political answer.
Right.
Don't give us
I'm not asking you to bash him. I'm just saying, when I say soft, I mean because it's just certain things, just because you built don't mean you strong.
That's true.
I'll put it to you like this, Q. This ain't the show for politically correct shit. Give it to us straight up. I don't want to hear no PC shit. Fuck it. Tell us how you really feel.
I think there is some tendencies of
nah. That ain't what the hell you want to say. Just go ahead and say it, Q guy.
Okay, no, we gonna break it down because we want to make sure that he gets to come, still he got a life to live. So
he's not a good
you might see where I was going with it. Like I could have brought that home. Like I could have had something brewing right there.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. Don't let it go. Keep going. Tendencies. Keep going.
So I feel like there's some. I got it. I feel like he's not comfortable, and I know I said I feel like a lot because I can hear it in my head. Like I said that shit like 12 times, but. Maybe with the turnaround and all the different movement and no consistency at all amongst the O-line pretty much since he's been here. Right. There's no real comfort, and he's worrying about way too much stuff and not focusing on the game. Therefore, by them saying he's the center, he can focus on that just in case something don't work out. And then, he cool with OG Olin, so he's got asshole in there somewhere. We just got to pull it out.
Yeah, but maybe not as center. Maybe he needs to be a left guard. I don't know because I'm not bench pressing 400 pounds, so I can't talk to that. But it just seems like he's kind of like a pushover. Like he again, like I said, I've seen people built like He-Man, and you push them with one hand, they ain't strong. And it's like, what is it that? So what is it that he's not doing, or is it the position change that needs to happen? Because if Lucas Patrick don't come back worth anything, Justin gonna have to roll the pocket to the right, roll the pocket to the left, play action with the draw step on the pocket because they coming up the A gap and they sending it with ferocity. I saw it in the Seattle game too. If you all watched the Seattle game, I was just like, pinch him, like do something coming straight up that A gap, like. Help me out, Q. Help me out.
I got you. This what happened. All right. He had some trials and tribulations. All right.
Okay. But his mind wasn't on football.
Right. Yeah. People go through shit. Okay. So he went through it. He had a great off season, and when he get his shot, he gonna surprise the world.
Yeah, you don't believe that.
I do too.
Yeah, you don't believe that shit. You don't believe that shit.
Why T screen over
Come back in
there?
town, I bet you a bucket of heroes you don't believe that.
Dude, I cannot look at T's frozen screen right now.
T screen looked like he was having a happy ending over there. Shit.
Hey, this is a family show.
Am I still frozen right now?
Nah,
you
even worse.
Hey, for some reason, that reminds me of somebody walking out of the happy ending shop, Mr. Ooh, I almost said his name.
Right.
But
wow.
going back to this, like, who do you see? God, I don't know how to even put it now. Like, because I still see a little bit of a marshmallow, but I'm also going to bring up another marshmallow in Eddie Jackson.
Oh my God!
Yeah, I'm sorry, T's favorite player, but he's frozen, so I can't see his reaction right now.
I mean, I think that reaction works for it.
Yeah, that is pretty perfect.
It's like a universal reaction for anything.
But like, I'm looking at those two. Who do you see being more of a comeback? Because I honestly feel Mustafa was only kept on this team because we don't know if our starting center is going to be ready by week.
Right. And I mean, honestly,
that is the only reason I feel like he.
But can't Kramer play center?
Kramer's hurt. Kramer, I thought, is out for the first half of the season.
Oh, I didn't know how many weeks. I thought he was just kept out the last game.
Yeah, I thought he was put on IR.
Even then, they already said like he's not ready.
He's not ready. I like Zach Thomas though. I really do.
I'm just
really hoping
Sam Mustafa. He's not strong enough, man.
Right.
He's not good enough. And I'm not sitting up here saying like speaking at somebody like, oh yeah, I can do better. That'd be stupid. But just by seeing football and knowing football, he's not good enough, man. And I'm not gonna sugarcoat the shit. He shouldn't be fucking starting. Hell, he's probably a third string center in the NFL.
Yeah, I feel like with this weekend or this week, like when everything shake out with all the cuts, I mean, if there's going to be one to go or there's something out there, they'd probably go that way.
Yeah, and I think, and from what I've always heard, what Olin Krutz was saying, like he's smart. Mustafa's a smart guy.
Yeah, nobody
like, and I understand that, but the physical attributes are just not.
Okay. But the smart thing, I mean, come on, he went to Notre Dame like that.
Yeah,
we know he's smart. 6'2", 300 and what? He's like 30 pounds, something like that.
He's like 330, 340.
But like, does he have?
He's mushy.
Like, what's the issue?
He's mushy. He's mushy.
Yeah. I mean, he might just be one of those finesse guys. And then if you want to build the type of line that
not a power running scheme. How can he?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, if you want to build the type of line that we need to be successful, and that we got the parts for it, right tackle, right guard, left tackle, left guard, the center got to be on the same thing. Like when I played, I mean, y'all know Olin. So if you wasn't on the same board or same level, same intensity as Olin, then you might not want to come in the locker room because that motherfucker might throw a chair at your ass. You don't know what the fuck gonna happen. So yeah, no, y'all, I'm dead. I haven't seen it.
What did you prefer?
I believe it
too. Left side with him or the right side with him? Which did you prefer? Did you prefer being on his left or right?
I'd have to.
You play guard and tackle, so
yeah.
I don't think he had a weak side though, did he?
Yeah, nah. I mean, he was
had anything weak in his game.
I mean, I played right in left guard with him. So
that's what I said. I was trying to figure out because like you said, like I like Cody Whitehead at the left, but like I said, if Lucas Patrick ain't ready, man. Let's kick Reef up. Let's move Borum over or something, and let's keep Mustafa off the field.
Right. And they could be just setting him up to what's that old saying? Setting him up to hang himself. Like
they already have.
Well, I'll put it to you like this:
he's still there though, so he hasn't.
What is it, 4?
2019,
2019, right? Undrafted 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's only in year
this only his third year. I think it's.
Oh yeah, that's about re-up time. So
4, right? It's money time. This is your 4th money time. And remember, he was undrafted. I'm trying to tell you, I know this. He was undrafted. I've done enough research on him back in the day to be like, why? Because at Notre Dame,
he came undrafted, but
like Notre Dame usually put out some decent linemen, right?
They usually do.
They had a couple,
Well, I'll put it to you like this: his ass gonna weak.
Okay, now
he froze right in the middle of the ass.
You're gonna find
That's
out
what you get for talking about
frozen ass
right.
There.
Well, I don't know about that. But
going against
but let me ask
pretty
you a
good
question though.
Palisade.
Like, does San Francisco have a strong like middle too though? I know they have great ends.
Yeah, but they got great
really have a strong
linebackers.
middle too. And they have great linebackers too, absolutely. And Mustafa, like when Mustafa came into this league, he came in like 4 or 5 games in. Nobody knew anything about him. Like random came out of nowhere. And he surprised everybody in the way he played.
But I didn't think he didn't play center at first.
He did.
At Notre Dame, he played center. He was a center.
Well, I don't know if he was center at Notre Dame. I'm not too sure about that. But I know when he first came into the Bears, I think he was a center right away.
Okay.
And like the thing was, like nobody knew anything about him. There was no scouting report about him. When people started playing more and more against him, they realized that he's quick off of the ball, but he's not strong. So you just attack him straight forward every single time, and that's what's hurting him right now.
Hey, look,
like he's just getting overpowered all the time.
He kept getting his ass blown up last year. He be back there with fucking Montgomery. I ain't know which one of them was the fucking running back when the damn play started. I know
he did run into Montgomery 2 yards back.
He that one play when he almost tackled Fields because he got pushed back. So I'm like, what are we doing? Man? You almost broke his ankle. But okay, I'm starting to have anxiety. Enough with the O-line. Let's go to the D-line. No Mario Edwards. He didn't make it.
I was surprised by that one.
Yeah, I thought he had that dog in him. Like he had that, like he got a little Bruce Smith in him, right?
But he's more of a 3-4 type guy, though, isn't he? He's more known for a 3-4 system type guy.
He has discipline issues. They don't want to deal with that right now.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, so right now Travis Gibson is our starter because I told you Al-Qadim Muhammad he's actually a backup. He's like a
he was listed as the backup.
Similar to like when the Giants. Remember when the Giants had that NASCAR package and they would just rotate?
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of similar to that. He's going to come in on definitely passing downs just to go attack the quarterback. But I mean, I think we short. Like I think we needed to make a splash at that DN position. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think we just need a little more size in the inside. Like I'm worried about other teams running. I know I was looking at the schedule earlier. There's a couple. I know the Cowboys on there.
You got the Vikings twice. Let's not forget that one. Cook is a beast in that middle.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like I just don't know. I'm not all the way confident with us stopping the run. Like I'm good with the linebackers. It's just the front four. I don't know.
Well, Angelo Blackson is starting at the 3 technique, and they moved Jones over to the because remember Jones never played 3 technique in San Diego. I mean, I can call it San Diego in the Los Angeles Chargers. He never played true 3 technique. That's why we were supposed to get Larry Ogunjobi at first. Because that's a different. Tonga is a run stopper, but for me, he's more of that 3-4 nose tackle.
Right.
And not to take anything from him, but I mean, if he's not starting at that 5, like. You're right. We're a little soft going right up the middle, but I think it's all predicated on getting pressure so that we can make that quarterback get that ball out 1 second faster and then let the defensive secondary eat. But I don't think we have any besides Quinn. I don't think we have anybody that can get to the ball. It's going to have to be like a group effort.
Right. Like a package. Like bringing
but I mean, you're also looking at week 1 game versus San Francisco 49ers. They don't got a bruising running back.
They don't have to. Trey Lance can run.
Yeah, they don't. But that's why you have Morrow and Robert Quinn in there to contain Trey Lance. So I'm not really worried too much about that. But those front 2 people, hey, you might see this change when we go up against the Vikings. You might see Tonga in the starting rotation when we're going.
Well, I think you have to because the Vikings have a pretty decent offensive line themselves.
They do to go along with their running back.
Like they're not Swiss cheese, but
I mean, like the key thing when it comes down to that is you have a head coach who knows how to use rotation type players compared to this dumbass Denny's waiter that we had the last 4 years who didn't know how to use any of that shit.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't be tipping my hat to Minnesota yet because their running back has proven that he's not durable. So we may not even see that
true
when he plays.
And they have an overrated quarterback.
Oh, big time!
I'm not going to say.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Actually, have the Vikings winning the division.
So foul mouth. You saying you suck your teeth to Dalvin Cook?
What I'm saying is Dalvin Cook ass might not even be there to play. That's what I'm saying.
Dalvin Cook's a beast, but he has to get back.
Oh well, so we gotta hope we got.
I don't hope shit.
To play. Dalvin Cook is a mother. He's a monster.
He's a problem.
I don't give a fuck a good running back, but they ain't like shit. He like he kills us every time. Shit, we gonna stop.
If we talking about,
he kills us when Akeem Hicks.
I was gonna say he didn't really kill us that much when we had a healthy Akeem Hicks.
We don't
have Akeem Hicks.
That's 100%.
Well, that's the thing about this season.
Soft defensive line.
But I mean, there's no difference.
But see, the thing is, we're calling them soft, but we don't know if they're fucking soft or not because we ain't seen shit yet.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know if they're soft or not. I'm just saying they're more built, like JB was saying, for pressure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not going to help us if the other team averaging 5 yards carry, because it's going to be first down, 2nd and 5, first down, 2nd and 5, first down, second. They can just run it all the way down the field.
Yeah, and I mean, you have fast linebackers, don't get me wrong, but none of them are going to be beast hackers who are going to Ray Lewis your ass out.
Right.
Like, so when you have a bruiser type running back like the Vikings healthy do.
Well, that's why you gang tackle, and that's one thing that we have known.
That's another thing I wanted to bring up.
They gang.
That was another thing I wanted to bring up. Watching this preseason game, holy shit! From what I've seen I've seen more like individual tackles, gang tackles in these 3 preseason games than all 4 years under Matt Nagy. Like there is like 4 or 5 people on the ball, and that always brings you back to those Urlacher Briggs type days where gang tack Lovie Smith, T Nick's twin brother, like just absolute gang tackles 24/7, and that.
Well, you have to put that on the D coordinator, Frank. You got to put that on the D coordinator, Frank.
I agree, and I agree with that.
Pagano, was it Pagano?
It was Pagano for 2 years,
and then the young guy, Desai. Like I told you, he was like, to me, he was hopelessly overmatched with what was going on. They were just like, whatever, dude. Too many times that the ball was right there. They don't pick the ball up on, they don't hustle. But going into this 49ers game, I personally think it's a Roquan Smith game because of the way they use Deebo Samuels in the backfield. And
we're hoping to use Velvet Jones.
Is he even going to play? We'll get to that in a minute.
He's gonna be your kickoff returner. I will tell you that for sure.
Hey, look, I have to tip my hat to whoever is making decisions with polls, whatever, because I'm so glad you kept Dante Pettis, and I'm so glad you kept Tajay Sharp. Like, wow, I wish you could have kept Coulter, because Coulter seemed to be like that.
He looked really good too. Yeah, but you couldn't keep more.
But what did I tell you last week, JB?
True.
That we were going to get 7.
He's going to be the guy that plays special teams.
It's going to be, yeah, you said that.
And he'll be in there. He'll be in there for your receiver. I still feel like he is going to be your 3-4 style, your 30 or 4th receiver.
I'm telling you right now, the person that I'm sorry, if those 2 guys
stay healthy,
building that, of course they're healthy, but all things considered, healthy. Justin has rapport with those guys. Why would you break that up?
Yeah, and he straight up, he said that in an interview. What was it, yesterday?
Like, I'm sorry, like N'Keal Harry, nice guy probably, deserves a shot. Hell, you're in the NFL. I don't care if I spent that 7th round pick on you. Hey.
Yeah, but N'Keal Harry, you got to think about it. He's one of the few that we have on that receiving core who has size.
I mean, EQ has size, but I mean, come on, like, did you see that post corner to Pettis?
It was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like, and Fields came right out and said that they are phenomenal route runners. They are in the right position at all time. That is something we have not had here for the last 4 years.
If I'm going into knowing football like I claim to know, those guys have to play. I don't. What I don't want to see is them forcing Velvet Jones in on certain situations, forcing Byron Pringle because you gave him a little bit of bread. Hell, Pettis gets over and catches the ball. Sharp makes those big play catches that you need. Isaiah Coulter, please, I hope they come back and bring him on the practice squad at least.
I hope he holds. I think he will.
I can see somebody like Carolina and them picking him up and need somebody to go Robbie Anderson and them. I can see one of them boys picking him up because he's proven, hey, guess what? He don't drop the ball.
No, he doesn't.
He don't drop the ball.
But at the same time, he was catching the ball against third stringers. Let's not forget that.
I think. What do you hold now? 6.
What do you mean?
On the practice squad, because I remember some people.
Wasn't it? Isn't it 8?
It's 8. I couldn't. I remember it's
Yeah,
like
it's 8.
some people have to be made available.
But is Coulter? Does he have eligibility?
That's what I said. I don't know.
Put up
guy.
JB's mom's comment right now. That's a good point. I didn't even think about that for our boy Mustafa right there.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. So hands out to mom.
Thank you, Mom.
Because that is a difference maker right there, special teams. Because he's not your starter after our center comes back.
Yeah, no.
But I think like
let's stay on defense though. Let's not jump the guns here. Let's stay on defense.
Well, we were talking about the receivers, but we can go back to defense.
Oh, yeah, we are on receiving now.
We're on receivers, but like I don't want to see them
get them, Mom. Mama get them.
The cart before the horse. I definitely don't want to see them doing that because what I know for sure is Dante Pettis coming out. If y'all remember, he was one of those guys. And although I know Tajay Sharp might not have been a household name, if I'm not mistaken, he came in for Julio and Calvin really both in Atlanta when
he played very well.
He played very well.
He played very well.
With a veteran, pretty damn good quarterback in there, Ryan. So we need that guy with that experience. I'm sorry, everybody got happy with Byron Pringle. I wasn't happy with Byron Pringle because I looked at him and I'm a KC guy, and I'm like, he didn't thrill me. He didn't thrill me in KC. He was just a guy.
He didn't really get a lot of chance though in KC.
It's a reason for that.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right on that one. But, I mean, we could also say that about our big guy we got from the Packers, too, who didn't tie Aaron Rodgers' shoelaces properly. So,
but you know what I saw? I hear things in practice, but then when I saw the games, I didn't see that rapport between Justin and EQ. I didn't see that. I didn't see him really go his way. Mooney, he got. Kmet, I like what Kmet is doing now. He looks like he's ready to play some ball, right?
Oh, dude, he looked excellent preseason.
And then I'm gonna say this, y'all can jump down on me if you want. I'm actually moving Herbert down, and I'm bringing Travis Edner up to the 2.
I think it's too soon for that. I feel like it's
because of the catching.
But you already got that. You need a bruiser. You can't just have two guys going back to back that can do the same shit.
I mean, but isn't Monty considered the bruiser?
No.
Yeah, but Ebner has proven that he's kind of a bruiser too. Even though I think Ebner has proven that he's a little bit more athleticism, the way he can move, like jump off of a juke move and still keep the same speed going.
Yeah, but
Montgomery doesn't have that. Montgomery but Ebner can catch and Montgomery can catch. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I just think it's too soon for that.
We cut the guy we got. Remember from Darrington
Evans
from
is that the guy who fumbled the ball last
year? The weakest link.
Yeah, he backed up Derrick Henry in
Yeah, but he was back, and we weren't keeping 4 running backs.
No, well, we got 2 fullbacks, 3 running backs, but
right.
I don't know. I just see something different in Ebner, man. Like
Ebner is looking like someone who's going to be a very successful running back, and if you're going to bring him up, you're going to bring him up early.
I'm just gonna reserve judgment on that until I actually see some real NFL.
I agree. He's got to run the ball for his real first stringers too.
I mean, I heard people last year when Montgomery went hurt and everybody went crazy talking about Khalil Herbert. Oh man, woo that. And
Herbert
motherfuckers came back down to earth and realized that Khalil Herbert is nowhere on the same stride.
I was more excited for him on kickoff returns.
I was one of
you watched him, right? You watched Herbert.
I was one of those guys.
Q, you watched Herbert, didn't you?
Yeah.
Virginia, was he a Virginia Tech guy?
I don't know where did he go to school.
I can't remember, but to me, he was very good on kickoff returns.
Yeah.
He does have a burst, but he has a burst. He tries to beat you to the spot.
Mm-hmm.
He's not shifty. He's not going to put that play in like Montgomery and bam, bam, and go. He don't have that Marshall Faulk prowess like Ebner got. Like, I just watched that, and I'm like, it's something about that kid where if we can keep that tandem, I mean, I'd be willing to get rid of him.
I see Ebner as a Matt Forte. That's what I see Ebner as. I think nobody is going to deny that.
That's great.
Yeah, nobody is going to deny that. I see him as a Matt Forte.
Because you got
Herbert, you can say, I don't even know what Herbert is.
But that's what I'm saying. So, Q, you speak to it because when you're blocking for certain players, you know players is going to get that 4.2, 4.5, 4.7, and the people is going to get the 2.9 and 3.1.
Exactly.
So, like, speak to that because I don't think I think Monty's a 4+ guy, and I think Everett's a 4+ guy. I only think Herbert's first down, right? First down and maybe third and long with a gimmick.
Like a screenplay or
Hell
something.
no, I'm not no damn gimmick. Anything with that fool got to catch. Do not put his ass in there.
If that's going to be
like the reverse, I see them using him in the Jakeem Grant role this year.
Yeah, but if that's going to be the case, there's no point. If that's going to be the case, then there's no point in keeping Herbert because if you're just going to tell me you're only going to give him the ball to run the ball, that's very easy to actually coach up against. That's a Matt Nagy offensive scheme right there. All right, you know he's getting the ball when he's in the game. Just like how we're worried about with
that's the perfect time you want to use.
Like, we're always afraid.
Play action.
Exactly.
And that's why I said that. When you have
somebody like Montgomery in the game, he can do anything.
Right.
He can do. He is good at everything, and phenomenal at just breaking tackles.
But doesn't that make your job harder, Q? Because now you have to extend those blocks for this guy that's not getting to where he needs to get.
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to be whoever. I mean I feel like offensive line wise, we're gonna do what we need to do, and it's the running back needs to understand. That's why you need to whoever it is, just like whoever's going to be the starting five. It just needs to be set in place so everybody can understand what we're doing up front, so they can know where they need to insert and whatever. It's gonna not if you got we know Monty's going to be there, and then if you got Herbert and the other guy just kind of going back and forth, then it's going to be pretty much a shit show, and it's not going to be that successful because he's going to be like, well, shit, I thought you was going to turn the linebacker this way, and you turn him that way, and you're like, well, if you've been practicing and getting the reps with us, then you know that I'm going to turn him like this, and you hit right here.
You hit right here. Yep, there you go. There you go. And that's what I see. Like I said, I'm not against Khalil Herbert, but I know what Luke Getsy and that offense did up in, remember, in Green Bay, Aaron Jones was the second leading receiver with reception. He throws the ball to the running backs on angle routes, wheel routes. They're a viable part of the offense. If you can't catch the ball, you're.
It's kind of like how we were dealing with Jordan Howard here.
Who else did they have out there? Who else did Green Bay have?
I mean, they had Devontae Adams, but
no. I'm talking on the running back side.
No, they only had one. Oh, they had a bruiser in the.
They had a bruiser.
They had a bruiser at the second string.
AJ Dillon.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a big dude.
Yeah.
I mean, but we don't have a bruiser running back, but we have a fullback now. Actually, we have two of them.
It's true. Right? So, I love that. Love that.
We have,
but tell you the truth, though, if you look at the three running backs that we got, Herbert's probably the bruiser of the three.
That's what I said. So wait, what are we running that out of? Q, what are we running that out of? More 12 personnel,
I don't think so. What the fuck?
I mean, at this day and age, I mean, you can run it out of anything. It's just, and you can motion them in a different position. So I mean, it's.
No, but I'm saying because remember, if the fullback is in, I got one receiver.
Oh, that's right. You have to be.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Foul mouth. You said Khalil Herbert is more of a bruiser?
He's more of the bruiser role.
Montgomery?
Yes, he is.
He's more of the bruiser role.
He's more the bruiser, yes.
Oh my God!
It's not to say that David Montgomery doesn't hit the hole hard or nothing like that.
Runs over motherfuckers.
David Montgomery is a guy that's hard to take down.
Mm-hmm.
He is. Herbert is a guy that's going to sit up there. He's going to literally try to run over you. It ain't too much wiggle in his shit.
That's what I'm saying. He just trying to beat you to the spot.
The positive thing that Herbert has excellent vision. He finds the holes earlier than most of our other running backs, and that's his success because he's still got speed too. But that's pretty much his success. He's like, whoa, what T always says in those type things.
But no, I like. Seriously, I want to go
right.
Back to
bring back Jordan Howard. Right, Mike. I'm
go
with
back
you,
to
man.
No, we're not bringing back Jordan Howard. what package are we going to use? Because aren't you kind of tipping your hat when you see Blasingame in the game, the old pro form, right? Wide receiver, tight end, fullback, running. You know what personnel we're coming out of. That's why I said if they go 12 personnel, 11 personnel, you kind of know it's more than likely it's a passing attack.
Right.
You see him in the game, you kind of tipping your hat unless they're doing like this elaborate zone running scheme, kind of like what Denver used to do back when they had Terrell Davis and that when I think that was what was his name? Went to U of I. Anyway, I can't think of his name, but their fullback was also used in the passing game back then with Terrell Davis. I can't think of his name right now. Is that something that we're looking forward to using right now?
Velvet Jones.
I think they got to. I think they got to get a little creative. I mean, it might be more play action, try to hit
That's exactly what I was
in spot, and then like I mean, it could be like back in the day, what was shit? Back when they were
Howard Griffin, that was his name.
There you go. Just a big dude with some nice hands that can catch. Like you did, like Lorenzo Neal too. Like back in the day, like he was a big mofo, but he can catch it out the backfield too.
And that's why I'm like, is that where we're heading back to? Because now, again, maulers up front with some good footwork, good agility. Mm-hmm. You have a monster at running back, king of breaking the first tackle, and then you have to just not mess it up.
Right. And I think, and then you forgot the biggest key is in a lot of play action and a lot of stuff in that offense, you got the quarterback on the move too. And we got
I forgot about
go.
Roll out.
We haven't even talked about him yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about him and that freaking third preseason performance that he had.
That's why
I literally that was the probably, and it was a preseason game, the greatest quarterback show I've seen in the last 4 years.
That was the thing of beauty.
And it was preseason.
I like what I saw.
Preseason.
I mean, we gotta look at it like this. And I'm a big time Justin Fields fan. I thought that Justin Fields was the best quarterback coming out in that draft.
I still feel that way too.
Even though the son bitch went to Ohio State, I still like him.
At least he didn't go to Michigan.
Prospect. But in Chicago, we so used to not seeing good quarterback play that we even take anything that looks like
a little preseason game and we're so excited.
And we sit up and say, "Oh my God, that shit looked fantastic!
Look at that throw!"
We cannot be those guys right now, y'all.
And then you see that late hit, and you hurry up and take a run around the block because you're about to scream because you're.
And I think what's real key is that Luke Getsy is going to sit up there and incorporate things that we know that Justin Fields is very good at. So maybe like when you were talking about where it looked like, man, we just know what's going to actually happen if they come into that pro style form and, he's going to give it to them. No, actually, I would love to run play action out of that shit to make their ass think that's exactly what it's going to do.
That is going to open up a huge season for Coleman.
I want that too, but like I said before, it's a big difference, and you can see it in Justin, whereas this regime clearly has faith and confidence in him. Mm-hmm. Whereas the last regime was like, yeah, kid, curl flat.
Good
luck. The owner of the curl flat draw play.
And they can scheme people.
Flat draw screen. On the sweep.
And the thing about it, they can actually scheme people open. I mean, I seen Big Stiffy open more now than I've ever seen him in the last 3 motherfucking goddamn years.
And that's why I said he could be.
That's why I call Cole Kmet Big Stiffy. Motherfucking Stiffy shit.
He could be used.
Gotta hate on my Notre Dame guy.
Hey,
that guy is
Big Stiffy.
I am saying this right now. Cole Kmet is a top 3 tight end this season. I'm calling it now.
Terrence, I want you to do this favor for me for Q because I want him to see the projections. Can you pull up the list? Can you pull up the list of the wins and losses that we saw? And I want to highlight one game with you, Q. But can you bring it up, T?
Yeah.
T over there got that happy ending smile going on.
You keep saying that, man.
You always freeze at the most ridiculous places.
Okay, here we go.
Early prediction.
Q, what you see? Y'all there?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I was gonna say, what do you see that you think is a mistake?
I think
because I'm gonna call it out right now and see if you feel the same way.
I don't think we're gonna lose to the Vikings.
I'm afraid in that run game. That's what I'm afraid of in that run game.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially early on in the year.
I know one where I see some bullshit at.
Yeah, we all know your bullshit, Val.
I don't know. I mean, I'm other than a couple of. I don't think we're gonna lose. I don't think we're gonna lose to the Falcons. I don't know.
Thank God, thank you.
Yeah, I don't.
Week 14 scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Why?
Hey.
They got the best rushing attack in the NFL.
Yeah,
they quarterback go to football.
Offensive line by then. Who knows?
That type of team scares me. With okay, T, take it down.
All right.
I'm just still not sold on their quarterback.
At all.
I'm not sold on him.
At all. I don't give a
He's kind of like another
he can't throw worse shit.
No.
The Eagles have a great team, though, a great all-around team around. But you said you brought up the pass rush, and I agree with you. How do you beat a pass rush?
That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm concerned about.
You beat a pass rush by good coaching.
The Lions?
Good offensive play calling. And hey, we're just hoping Gase is going to be like that.
Okay, but then all things considered fair, Eberflus is a rookie head coach.
Agreed.
He's a rookie play caller for offensive coordinator. You have a lot of firsts on that team. The thing about the Eagles right now, they got a top special team, they got a top defense, and they got the number one rushing attack. That game scares me. Jalen Hurts might only throw for 160 yards and a touchdown.
Who said he gonna throw for that much?
But the thing is, if he does throw for that, it could be if he gets loose.
Mike,
that mustache wins MVP right away.
That's funny.
That mustache.
But you see what I'm saying, Q, right?
Yeah, I mean, because he's got some weapons on the outside. So if he gets
AJ Brown is a problem.
Right, he could throw for 169 yards and only throw fucking 5 passes because he's been scrambling so much, and we get caught sleeping because the DB stepped up.
Well, that's the thing. I think if I'm the Chicago Bears defense, I'm gonna make that son of a bitch pass.
Yeah,
I'm gonna crowd that motherfucker.
You're gonna literally.
You gonna have to pass. You ain't running shit. You gonna have to show me that you can pass.
Yeah, you gotta contain him.
And so far, all we gonna see from his career, his short, brief career in the NFL is he can't pass. Because tell you the truth, if he could pass, their ass would probably be in the NFC Championship.
Easily.
At least.
Easily.
Look, as a second year, as a first year starter last year, the second year they made the playoffs. This year I have them winning the division, and I have him taking the next step. Because remember, it was certain people in the world that said Lamar Jackson couldn't pass either. Look what he did.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, and who knows? Maybe this year
But the thing about
Mike Hughes is on fire, dude.
Yeah, Lamar's something serious, man. I like that.
But I'm saying, but to Q's point early,
they could bring back Alshon.
Running game is what's gonna hurt us, right?
But I mean, I think it comes out long as look. I think our saving grace, and don't get me wrong, I don't know what the D line is going to do. I know they're going to rush past. I don't know what they're going to do in the run, but our linebackers are decent. So as long as they're sure tacklers, like even if we're rushing the passer, I mean, the thing about being low, they're going to be doing a lot of quick moves and getting up the field. That's going to open up lanes. But if our linebackers are sound and he tries to step up, they're going to hit him in the mouth.
And we have fast linebackers.
We have fast linebackers, and we also have 2 corners that don't mind getting dirty, and we got a new rookie safety that likes to lay the wood as well.
We do. That's our saving grace right there.
Mike is hilarious, man. You see this, you think urgent care would let Alshon out. He is always hurt. And he
is always hurt. It's sad too because he is. If I'm not mistaken, isn't Alshon one of the top 3 receivers in Bears history?
We put him one of our top 10. I didn't put him in.
We did because he was a top 3 in Bears history.
He didn't even want to be here, so
he wanted a big payday, and the Bears weren't willing to give it to him, just like an Allen Robinson type.
Right.
Payday.
So I totally understand shit.
Hey, get your bread. I ain't mad at
see, when I'm looking at that schedule, And all these people saying the Bears are going to be the worst team in the NFL, blah, 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 kiss my ass. I don't really care what they think. But I look at that schedule. I see one team on that schedule to me that is a guaranteed loss, and that's the Buffalo Bills.
That's the only?
That is a guaranteed loss.
Really?
I feel it's the Buffalo Bills.
Well, one thing we know about the NFL, ain't shit guaranteed. Not even fucking contract.
Hey, the Buffalo Bills.
Didn't the Jags beat the Buffalo Bills last year?
9-6.
It would be the low scoring game. You're not wrong on that one.
But I just want to like seriously, like Q, you said you got them making the playoffs, which means I'm assuming wild card, not winning the division.
All right. Yeah, I can take that.
So that could be 10-7, 9-8, right?
Are you really sold on them not winning the division though?
I told
yes,
you before,
still have Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, so they are the favorite, hands down. They're the favorite.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not favoring them. I think the Vikings are going to win the division. I really do.
I think as long as Kirk Cousins is
as long as Kirk Cousins is that quarterback.
Hey, but
and they got primetime games.
He's been winning the last few years. He's been winning primetime games, and then you look at his stats. He's like, damn, 4,000 yards, 30-something touchdowns, only 7 picks. Really?
Yeah,
he's
but
like the quietest great stats ever. And Adam Thielen comes back this year for him.
Yeah,
Irv Smith Jr.
That's huge, but that also can hurt them. You don't know if that's going to be a positive thing. You really don't. That could butt heads for all we know.
Hey, look here, man. Aaron Rodgers, he might as well go on and kiss the baby because his time is over. You know, Randall Cobb gonna play about 4 games. That's all.
Speaking of that, I wanted to try to get a post-it note for this show. Did anyone else see what one of the Green Bay Packers commentators said after their last preseason game? I posted it on the Clubhouse podcast.
I didn't.
He literally said if Aaron Rodgers retired today, the Green Bay Packers would still be favored to win the division. And I said, you are dumb as shit. Because not only are they not favored to win the division, they're probably dead last in the division without Aaron Rodgers, possibly even one of the worst teams in the NFL.
That's kind of a diss to all the other teams in the division.
That's an embarrassment because the only reason you're favored anything is because Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback. Right. If Aaron Rodgers wasn't there, Chicago would be parading every single day, and give or take, Green Bay would not be doing a damn.
I mean, that's just somebody who's just literally just a fan and doesn't probably know football.
Yeah,
he
was one of their comment. He was one of their sportscast people and everything.
Yeah, because I mean, without Aaron, you just got fucking shit. What you got? Kevin Love, Buddy Love. I don't give a fuck.
Jordan.
Damn,
shit.
Buddy Love.
Damn, you said Buddy Love.
We got to get Eddie Murphy on this show. We are really putting up a lot of skits of Eddie Murphy on this damn show. Can he sponsor?
Hey, if Eddie Murphy came on this show, man, what? But
wow.
But no, I just think if playoffs is.
Hi, I'm David Jones.
If playoffs is within our grasp, it's got to be around that 9 and 8, right?
Yeah, I'd say.
You know what? Honestly, I don't think we're gonna make the playoffs at 9 and 8.
It'll be tough.
We're gonna have to probably be like 10-7. I think we're gonna have to at least win about 10 games to
possibly. You can't.
Yeah, I mean,
but there's only two. There's only two. I'll tell you right now, San Francisco and the Rams. That's it. Then you look in the South.
Damn.
That's it. That's you. Then it's 3 teams.
Wait, hold on, player.
You could be a smart dude.
Arizona out.
They don't have DeAndre Hopkins for like the first 7 weeks or something like that.
And they don't have a second half of the season quarterback.
Arizona's done. They're not.
Nah, I wouldn't say they done.
They're done.
Hold on.
They're done the moment they gave Kyler Murray all that money.
If you got all this fucking hope in fucking Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's true.
Not Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray's better than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Who's Kyler Murray throwing to?
Don't matter who the fuck you throwing to. It's Kyler Murray.
If you're making that much money, you should be able to throw to me and he's still
Who's he throwing to?
Doesn't matter who he's throwing to.
Christian Kirk is gone.
He's still
DeAndre Hopkins is out for like.
Hold on, didn't they get somebody else over there?
Yeah, you know who they got? The same person that dropped all them touchdowns for Lamar Jackson. They got Hollywood Brown.
Hollywood Brown. So what? They still got Rondale Moore. He's gonna be in his second year. I wouldn't count out Kyler.
Arizona ain't doing that.
Kyler Murray is twice the quarterback that Jalen Hurts is.
Arizona
So, and you ready to fucking anoint Jalen Hurts? So I ain't going with that.
The Eagles have a better all
I didn't say anoint him. I just said he just don't have to mess up.
I wouldn't count Arizona out, even if they don't have DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey Q, remember when Tampa Bay won that year with Brad Johnson's quarterback? All he had to do was not mess up.
All right, don't mess up.
Yeah,
just don't. That's all he had to do.
Yeah,
but
it's a different league nowadays, man. You need offense to win that Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You can't forget about James Conner on Arizona too. You can't forget that.
Right.
Okay.
And then
I'm not
if
going
you
to sit up here and
honestly
look like
think
James Conner's like a top running back. Like, stop.
if you honestly think that teams when they play Philadelphia are not going to fucking load the box up to make Jalen Hurts fucking beat them, which I don't think
they're in the NFC least. They're going to win.
I don't care. Teams are still going to sit up there and load up the box to make him beat them with their arm. Why would you sit up there and give to this man's strength with his fucking running? You
So
gonna make his
clearly-
no throwing ass beat you until he can show that he can fucking
Clearly,
throw.
you didn't watch him at Oklahoma at all. He can't.
Clearly, I did, motherfucker. And I watched his ass in Alabama. He couldn't throw. Ask Tua about his ass.
Tua can't throw either. So why the hell would we ask Tua?
Tua's on his way out too. He gonna be there with you on the chain.
Tua was the one that took his damn position, that wasn't he?
Yeah, it's true.
Everybody mess up.
Yeah, that's right. He gonna fuck up this year too.
One thing that I want to bring up, though, I mean, we're flipping back to defense here, and Mama Gordon popped on there, and that's what made me think about it. We did not talk about Kyler Gordon's game on Saturday.
He was all over.
That guy was a freaking monster.
He literally was all
on Saturday. He was getting double teamed by a tight end and a wide receiver. No, I'm sorry, a tight end and a lineman, and he still made a one-handed tackle. Like, he got 3 deflected balls. He almost had one of them an interception. Unfortunately, I believe it should have been an offensive pass interference on the one that he didn't get an interception on. That guy was an absolute monster on Saturday. And he didn't do bad at all this preseason. I mean, he did good, but that last game was just like, oh my God, and I don't like, and I understand, and this is bringing up the roster cuts again. From what I'm reading, Vildor's your starting cornerback.
He is, and I'm not a fan.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying Gordon's not going to be a great nickel, because he's going to be a great nickel. He's going to be great wherever you put him. But I don't like Vildor back at corner.
I think they're waiting.
I don't like Vildor anywhere.
Vildor is a solid tackler. He's a bulldog. I will give him that. But he's too small. And all you got to do is throw a decent quarterback. You know, Kyler Murray make it. Jalen Hurts probably can't. But a decent quarterback can throw the ball up in the air, and he'll come down, and Vildor won't be able to get up and get up.
I think they're waiting on Young to get healthy. Hopefully.
He's on the IR.
At him.
Yeah, and I was not expecting, when we're talking about roster cuts, I didn't expect Graham to get cut.
I didn't.
I mean, he hasn't played. He's been hurt.
I agree with that, but he was still, to me, your starting nickel. I wanted him to be your starting nickel.
I wouldn't say that, because we haven't seen enough of him. We saw him for a couple games.
He's also a great special teams guy.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say he was your starting nickel. I mean, they signed a guy that was actually pretty damn good over there in Baltimore.
I just think,
that was one of the best nickels in the NFL last year.
Yeah, I would rather have Murray.
I mean, they can still sign him to the practice squad. I mean, he's hurt.
I mean, they probably will, but again, if they cut him, that just tells me, and Q, you can speak to this, please, because you've been there. That just tells me that injury is more severe than what they let on.
Right, there's something else to it that if they ain't going to work with it.
Yeah, because otherwise you keep that guy, right?
Right, exactly.
What type of injury does he have? Anybody know?
I just know they kept saying IR, and he didn't play.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what it was. I thought it was something like ankle.
I thought they were going to keep Strowman. They didn't.
Wait, did we keep Duke Shelley?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes. Right. We kept Duke Shelley. Man, let me tell you.
So you're telling me
Lamar Jackson?
I would have took Graham over Duke Shelley.
Almost every time he's in the game, he is cooked.
Crookshank.
Well, we need some backup safeties anyway, so.
I'm just saying the people
that Shelley ain't no backup safety.
Nah, I'm talking about Crookshank.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just naming the DBs that we kept. Lamar Jackson. We kept Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I wasn't sold on Lamar Jackson.
But I'm surprised that's not who
But he's
started.
got size at
Why
least.
do you start Vildor? Like, what are we doing?
I don't understand that either.
I don't get that. I don't get that at all.
Kendall Vildor is the fucking Sam Mustaford of the defense.
So wait.
I'm gonna say what y'all ass get.
Make sure you give Olin his address.
I don't give a fuck who it is. Olin get his ass on here. I tell him the same shit.
You said what?
That's my motherfucker.
That's what I said. We gonna make sure Olin got Chris's address.
Right.
He can have. Come on over here to this motherfucker. I'll open up the goddamn door.
I got your back, but way back on that one.
It's gonna be way back there. I'll tell you that for sure.
I'm gonna be at the crib. You just leave your camera on our watch.
You wish you getting all to go in it, and this
That's great.
Yeah,
But
dog. I can't help you on that one, man.
I still say that. Oh, and then let's not forget this. What are we gonna do? Because next year we got all this money, but top wide receivers are gone already, so we might have to pick one up in the draft. And we also need to pick up. We might have to pick up a D tackle too. 3 technique.
I mean, they're probably easier to sign than a damn wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure.
Cheaper too.
Yeah, shit, they might be more available. Shit, because
depending on what Larry O do for the Raiders this year, if he comes back up for available, because I promise you, I wanted them to get DK. DK re-signed with Seattle. I don't know why he did that.
I don't understand that one.
I'm like this. Whoever the girl is, just move it to Chicago, man. Just move it.
Man, he wanted to
That's got to be the only reason you stay.
DK looking like fucking Carmelo Anthony, man, of the fucking NFL right now. He just signed for fucking money. He don't give a shit if he win, lose.
I'm good.
Right. I just gonna get this money, man.
Right.
If he think Russ wasn't getting the ball, Gino damn sure ain't getting the ball.
Damn, that is they starting quarterback. Woo,
Gino, and then when Drew Lock come back, it's gonna be a mix of the two.
Well, goddamn, it's gonna be random.
Either way, it's gonna be a mix straight down that shit.
Pete Carroll will be retiring after this year.
It's gonna be random. A lot of Seattle. It ain't gonna be because of
and the funniest thing is, there were people like Dan Lazy Nuts over in Detroit, up in the commentators up there, who literally straight up said we are the worst team in the NFL this year. How the hell can you say that after watching what we just did to Seattle?
Hold on, but this is the crazy part about it. They all retracted the shit. A lot of them been retracting that shit ever since this shit just to put up the 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, they did. They did say it was like, well, after watching that game, like
when I think about it again,
without sounding too boisterous of myself, I feel Dan Orlovsky should never. You ran out the back of the end zone on
without even being touched. Nobody was within 5 yards of you.
You can't say nothing to me about quarterback play.
He ran almost a full half of the freaking field before he even realized he
was. IQ is just some mistakes that you just cannot let go.
An 0-16 quarterback, and that's who we're taking freaking lessons from.
And you gonna talk bad about Justin Fields, buddy? Dan Orlovsky. Come on, you were a star in Connecticut when they were Division I AA. Stop.
Hey, Q. Tell me, how do you think this order in the NFC North is going to go?
It's going to be a tough division, though. I'll say that. It's going to be tight.
That's why I said I think 10 wins is the division.
Yeah. I think 1 and 2 is going to be Chicago, Minnesota. I don't know who's going to be where, but 1 and 2. I think Green Bay might get through. Actually, I don't know. Detroit might do something, but I think they'll be 4. I think Green Bay will probably be 3.
Yeah, you know what? I'm just waiting to see if shit don't go right early for Green Bay. Rodgers is gonna check himself out.
Yep,
and we know how that diva ass.
Either that, or he gonna tell the coach, "Fuck what you talking about. I'm about to call this and see how it works." And then
that's what I think he gonna do.
When shit go real bad,
what he gonna do?
He gonna blame it on his fucking receivers.
Yeah. Or he's gonna take more of his horse testosterone pills or whatever the hell that he said that he took last year. It made him a better quarterback.
The only real threat he has is Christian Watts if he's back healthy. That's the only real threat he has.
Who?
Christian Watson. From,
that was their draft pick.
Right, from North Dakota State.
But shit, he ain't proved shit yet, so I ain't gonna call his ass a threat yet.
He's coming in with issues.
Randall Cobb gonna be hurt week 3, like he always is.
Yeah, he's a Sam.
He's the same age as I am.
Yeah, I think so.
I couldn't play. He was playing with us.
Definitely seems like it.
Like Alan Lazar,
he was out there.
Alan Lazar is a Weems.
He's just the guy. He's just the guy.
I mean, everybody keeps saying Christian Watson. I actually wanted the Bears to draft him, but
supposedly they said we were
the
gonna.
thing is this. One thing that we've known about him that he hasn't played against good competition, and he does have a habit of dropping the ball.
And he has knee issues.
Well, that too.
Yeah, he has knee issues too. His
year. Just imagine we would have drafted his ass right now.
I told you I wanted George Pickens. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, and he's tearing it up over there with my boy Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah, like I said, once again, it's preseason. I ain't leaving shit until
you're not right.
Real season.
Hey, no, you gonna get your wish. We gonna give. They gonna give Claypool the money next year. That's gonna be our top free agent pick.
Hey, I love it. I like him.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I wouldn't deny that at all.
I wanted him instead of Big Stiffy.
All right, man. I can't take you.
You're gonna be regretting that this year. I'll tell you that. Stiffy is gonna be.
I hope so.
If they run the offense like they should, he should be a stud.
I mean, he had like 6-something last year. He just didn't have. He had 1 touchdown. Like he had 600 yards receiving last year.
He's never in the game in the red zone.
You know, with that crazy Denny's menu dude had.
Like, yeah, you put in 90-year-old Jimmy Grant in the red zone instead of Cole Kmet. You pulled Cole Kmet out of the game.
No, Cole Kmet was in the red zone sometimes. He just couldn't get open. But. And in fact, I think he dropped a couple touchdowns.
He did. I remember him dropping a big one in the
second Detroit game, he dropped a couple touchdowns.
But
what the hell was mollywops?
A mollywop. Yeah, what's that? Well, you know what? That brings us to a nice little transition here because we're gonna bring Mike in and he can explain to us what mollywop is. So before he speaks about the sky. And Q, you definitely can stay, and I'm sure Mike wants to ask you a couple questions. So let's bring in my man Mike.
What's up, man?
What's up, Mike?
What's on, Mike?
Y'all don't know what mollywop is?
No, what's that?
I'm not gonna lie, man. It sounds extremely kinky. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, man, mollywop is a Chicago thing, man. At least me growing up, it's one of those things. When someone's gonna be right behind you and you're just gonna get hit in the back of the head and you're not gonna see it coming. That's exactly when I see George Pickens. That's exactly what I see. I know we're gonna have at least 2 of those this season, so I'm excited for it. I love the kid.
Oh, okay. I thought mollywop was he beat you 40-6. That's mollywop.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
Man, chilling, man. Just got done talking to Candace, a couple players on the sky. We just wrapped up a couple interviews, so I was a little late.
Damn, I was gonna say, tell Candace. I said, hi.
Hey, man, I'll tell you. I think I'd be afraid to, bro. I'd be afraid to, bro. Candace is a real one on that.
Damn.
Candace, you wouldn't know what to do. You wouldn't know what to do.
You know something, since my fiance is in the other room, you damn right I wouldn't know shit what to do.
You and that's what you're supposed to say right now. You're supposed to say that.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck to do. I ain't doing shit. What you talking about? You fucking scared.
This is just the train is way off the tracks. It's the way what's going on with the sky, man?
Hey, low key, she gonna say I got a better chance than you, so ain't that some shit?
You said what, JB?
What did we miss with the sky? They're in the second round, right?
Man, we're gonna ignore game 1. We're not gonna talk about it. It didn't happen. It's fine. Everything's fine. But on a serious note, it's the sky right now being in the semifinals, man. I mean, it's everything you want it to be. And right now, the ball's in their court. And I think, there's a lot of different ways you can go with Connecticut for people who don't follow the W. Connecticut's one of those proven teams. They're a championship caliber team. They're battle tested. And so are the Sky, and they're on many different levels. They bring in Emma, who's a finals MVP. We're looking at 3 finals MVPs on this court this year. It's never happened before in the history of the WNBA. They got some hoopers for real, but, I don't think, as much as I love James Wade, and I was talking to him about this the other day, is I really don't think it's going to come down to schemes. I really don't think it's going to come down to who's more talented. I think it comes down to who wants it more. And we've kind of been talking about that this whole time. So it's going to be an interesting fight, man, for sure. But as long as Vegas doesn't come out, I'm perfectly fine with whatever happens.
Really? So you kind of like dropping the hint that as long as the Aces don't win, you okay?
Yeah, man. Like I got mad love for Kelsey Plum and Becky. They're amazing at what they do. But I would be terrified to have to play them in a 7-game series in the finals. So I'd rather see Sue Bird, and it would suck. It would suck on your last dance to have to take that away from her. But I wouldn't lose sleep over it. So I think it's definitely my favorite right now is Seattle versus Chicago if we make it to the finals.
So this round is best of 5, right?
Yeah.
Right. So it goes 3, 5, 7.
Right. And one of the big things, to keep it short, I've been covering them, being a reporter for them for a little bit now. And, one of my big things, and maybe, I'm out of pocket, maybe I'm a little biased for saying it, but, first quarters are not really our thing. We kind of take that time to adjust, to figure out what's going on. Then we rip their heads off in the next 3 quarters of basketball. And I kind of saw that in the first round too, except instead of the first quarter, it was the first game. Obviously they get caught napping against Sabrina Ionescu. That's Lady Mamba. Like she does her thing, and she trained with Kobe and Gigi. So, she knows what she's doing. But, games 2 and 3, I mean, we can't even talk about it on here, bro, because I don't even think it was legal what they did to Liberty in those games, man. It was insane. Yeah, man, it was breaking WNBA history, the most point differential ever by 40 points.
What was the final? Was it like 43, 44?
It was like 60 to 102. It was something insane. And game 3 was the same way, man.
Mollywop.
Yeah, Mollywop. 110%, bro. Q, 110%, bro. And Q, normally I don't geek. I promise you, I don't geek all the time, bro. But I grew up watching you, man. So it's an honor to even be sitting here with you, bro.
Oh man, my pleasure. I appreciate it.
Hell yeah, man. We watch you all the time, bro. I was only 5, so I mean, you Spice.
As fans, you couldn't talk shit, and if you did, I'd just laugh at you.
100%, bro. You Spice Adams, all those guys growing up watching them, it was everything. And watching you guys at the clubhouse doing y'all thing, I do appreciate y'all having me on, man.
For sure.
Hey, so Mike, I want to ask you this. Since you are someone who is deeply vested into the women's basketball arena, why is women's basketball not getting the love that they probably should be getting?
First of all, I want to point this out specific part, because me, as not only a male but as a white male, I tend to try to keep my name and keep my opinions about that to myself, because I think when I say this, a lot of people get upset. But my biggest thing is, we're all men here, we're all sitting here, and here's the reality of the situation from what I'm seeing. If there is a game on and there is a ball invested and men are playing it on the TV, I think there's 6 of us here. I would say at minimum 5 of us are watching it. Even if we're not paying attention to what's going on, even if we don't know the players, we're going to tune in and we're going to watch it. I see a lot of men watching the WNBA, more so than you would normally think. Obviously, the NBA is always going to be the favorite. Obviously, the NBA is always going to be something that men typically view more towards. But I've had this conversation with Candace, and I've had this conversation with a lot of other people. You're looking at, from the WNBA, they do have women fans. 8 out of the 10 fans who watch the WNBA on a poll are going to be women. But I think, there's a lot more women that aren't watching the WNBA, that aren't supporting fellow women. And that's not just to say it's only women. As to say it's people in general, I feel like aren't taking notice of this. And I think it's slowly starting to become that. And I got it on my hoodie right here. 2005 is when the Chicago Sky came together. So this is fairly new. If we're going to sit here and say that anybody gave a shit about the NBA in 1930, it's not what it was. You know what I mean? So it's a fairly new league. And I do feel like, and I have had this conversation with a few players in the league that I won't name drop, but they agree that women do play a part in that. And they need to be their own support system at that same time, you know, and men do need to, I keep hearing everybody say it's a layup competition. It's a layup competition. It's a layup competition. I'll tell you what, before, hey, I got mad love for my Bulls. I'm rocking the hat right now, but I'll tell you what, before last season with our tourists, Candace Parker could start on any forward for the last 10 years of the Chicago Bulls. You're going to tell me that Candace Parker ain't giving buckets to Felicio, to Wendell Carter Jr., to all those guys? Yes, bro. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. She'll mollywop Bobby Portis. I mean, let's be real about it. So I think, you know, it's one of those serious conversations that I do think the league is slowly becoming more televised, and it's something that I'm, you know, appreciative that they give me this opportunity to be there and to just kind of, you know, be not a pioneer, but be one of the OGs when you look back on it 100 years from now, that, you know, I was here doing stuff that, you know, no one cared about. And then 100 years from now, everybody could be talking about, you know, the Chicago Sky of 2021 or 2020. So I think it's definitely coming into its own. And it's going to be a lot more respected as time goes on.
Yeah. So the word that comes to my mind right now is profitable.
100%.
And if it's not profitable, we already know how capitalism works, right?
Right.
If it's not profitable, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Where is the stance right now about the profitability of the league? Because, you know, everybody's seen that meme that such and such player makes more than the whole league in itself. What is it that you feel? Because the product is available. The product is, you can turn on every day and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely available. What do you think needs to happen to turn the profit?
That was kind of the point I was hitting at, is, you know, and it
can't just be women though. It's
no, 100%. And that's where I was going with it, is, you know, I don't want people thinking Mike Hughes is a sexist. Mike Hughes is saying women don't care. That's never where I was coming from with it. But when you look at men and you look at how we value sports, and it's everything to us, and it's everything of what we're doing, you know, you could say out of 10, you know, let's say 8 dudes are going to tune in and watch a show. You know, out of women, how many are going to watch a WNBA game? And I think that's where slowly but surely, you know, and it's not even that they don't want to watch it. It's that it's not televised. You know, you see Zion Williamson, who has played me and him have played the same amount of games in the last 2 years. So, I mean, but you still see this man on every television, on every shoe, on every commercial. You see them there. Once you start seeing Candace Parker, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, and everybody else, that's when you're going to start to get the more attention of not only men, but of women. And I think, you know, we've had this conversation time and time again. Why aren't the owners paying them more? You can't. And that's the reality.
Haven't made the money.
They haven't made the money. Can anybody on this panel tell me the owner of the Chicago Sky? It is not Jerry Reinsdorf. It is not the McCaskies.
God fucking know it ain't.
Well, we wish the Bulls wasn't Jerry Reinsdorf either, though.
So. Who the fuck is it?
But that's what I'm trying to say. It's this guy Michael. He's a great guy. But it's multiple.
Michael, what?
They all have a stake into this, man. There's several people that own the Chicago Sky, and that's across the entire WNBA. You know, a bunch of people are collectively have stock into this, and that's for the Bears too. You know, people buy into it. But that's more so like, you know, you buy pieces. Aaron Rodgers owns a part of the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I mean, all the fans think that they own part of the Green Bay Packers too. They're just
you know, they think they own everything, but they own everything except a pair, you know, a haircut, clippers, and stuff like that. But that's perfectly fine. But it's one of those things where, you know, I think over time, like you said, you know, no one cared about the NBA. No one really cared about the NFL or the MLB or the Negro leagues or all these other things that were going on, you know, very early on in history of sports. And I think, you know, that's where you have to look at it from. And you know, another one is, and it's something not a lot of people don't care about, but I played at a high level in lacrosse. You know, no one talks about, you can't name me 3 professional lacrosse players right now who are making over $20K. Nonetheless, just name them.
They're the professional lacrosse team.
And that's one of those things where they're fairly new as well. They haven't been around since, you know, the 1920s. So I think it's something so new, so fresh. And to me, it's all about the athletes. The athletes are getting 10 times better. We see more women dunking. We see more women hitting from the logo. We see more athletes really doing their thing. I mean, you look at the Sky this year, that's bringing in revenue. That's bringing in, you know, attention to Chicago that we haven't had. I mean, let's be real here. As much as we love the Bulls and the 90s Bulls, but I mean,
Derrick Rose.
Who's the only relevant basketball team in Chicago in the last 20 years? It's the Chicago Sky. Like that's what it is. And not enough people are taking notice of that. And I feel like now you're starting to see, the Cubs now broadcast all the games for the Chicago Sky, and you're starting to see them on a lot more channels. So I'm really excited about it. I'm excited for women to be more involved, for men to be more involved, and just to kind of get the thing going.
Yeah, so, I love it that those girls truly push the love of the game.
Hold up, Frank. Do all of our other Chicago teams need to suck in order for the Sky to get that attention that they need?
I'll tell you what, in a respectful way, all 6 of them could suck and no one's going to care about the Chicago Fire. But I think right now, the Chicago Sky, they're getting their love and they're getting their flowers. I'm going to these games. I'm reporting on the sideline and people may believe it. They may not. Maybe it only holds 10,000, 12,000 seats, but they're selling out. And they're selling out on a high level. And out of all the teams in the W, they get the highest viewership. So they're starting to come a long way. Free agency is going to be pretty tough, and that might set it back a long way. But it's right now what they're doing. And if they could potentially even go back to back, it's going to be big for not only the city, but I think for the league.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike, I do agree with you. One of the damn sure has to do is marketability.
Yeah.
And not only that, they need that female player that's going to be that Kobe Bryant, that Michael Jordan, or they need that rivalry like that Magic Johnson and that Larry Bird. That's what I think the WNBA is missing. Because I put it to you just like this. Right now, if a WNBA game is on and a fucking tennis game on with Serena Williams on, what you tuning into?
100% Serena, but that's no disrespect. Serena's a GOAT, but in her own regard. But I do agree with you. I think and that was kind of where I was going with it too.
Yeah, look how they market, but see, look how they market
Serena,
right?
And that's why I said that's what they missing. They need to have a player, if it's 1 or 2 players, where they sit up there and they market the shit out of that player, and that player has to live up to that.
Mm-hmm.
If they can live up to that, that's going to bring people out. First of all, it's going to bring us men out, especially if she's attractive, or she can be all right and just have a banging ass body. One of the two. It don't matter. Not to sound sexist, but
you good, bro.
And that's what they need. They need that marketability. They need that player that can sit up there and that can do that and that can live up to that expectation.
I have to interject, because what you're just saying right now, like you said, a Candace Parker, maybe a Cynthia Files, a Diana Taurasi, right? But take me back to 95, 96, when you had a Cynthia Cooper, a Tina Thompson, a Cheryl Swoops, right? You had a Tisha Pinachero, a Yolanda Griffin, a Keisha Byers, a Dawn Staley. Like, you can go on, and Teresa Witherspoon. You can go on and on and on with them names. Lisa Leslie, Rebecca Lobo, that were high-profile characters.
100%.
So where did it tail off? Because
you know what it is, JB?
But you can't tell me you didn't have star power.
Nah, but you know what that is, though? And I could break it down the way I see it, and anybody could stop me and tell me where I'm wrong. The difference is in society of where we are today versus in the 90s. If I told you, JB, we're sitting at a barbershop, right? Me and you, chopping it up, whoop-de-whoop, whatever we're talking about, and it's 1995, and I look at you and I say, did y'all see Lisa Leslie dunk last night? 9 times out of 10, everybody in that barbershop is going to tell me to shut the fuck up. Because that's how it was.
I disagree, because back then, I can tell you it was a lot more men that I personally know that were watching it. Buying our little sisters the little comment jerseys.
100%. But how many of those men to this day are still saying they ain't gonna watch it because it's a layup competition? They ain't gonna watch it because of this. But that's what I'm saying is you're in this state now to where women in sports are just becoming so much bigger than what they were back in the day, to where you're not the second fiddle. You're looking at Serena Williams not just as the best female tennis player, but one of the best tennis players ever. And that's real.
Or woman.
I'm not debating that. What I'm saying is,
no, I feel you.
You had that star power back 94, 95, 96, 97 and all that. More people watched than they do today. That was 30 years ago.
100%. But that, like I said, it's one of those conversations though, to where when you look at the ratings and you look at the numbers right now, they're the biggest they've ever been. And that's really what it is. And when you look at the 90s, it was big for the 90s. But now when you're looking at it, like you said, it's all about profit. So when you look at it for what it is, in the 90s, hey, we got these numbers. It's like if we're on the Clubhouse right now, we got 100,000 viewers right now. That's sweet. Shit's going good. 20 years from now, if you're still sitting at 100, it's like we really haven't moved anywhere, and that's right now where the W's at.
Absolutely. That's not what my point was. My point was when you are talking about that name, that draw, like they've always had that name.
See, but that's the thing though. When it's so new, and I'll tell you the way it is right now. We could have Q on here. Q could sit here 5 years from now and be on ESPN. But how many people knew when he first came onto the Clubhouse? Bears fans. The majority was Bears fans, and it's because nobody really knew about it. And that was one of the biggest things. It wasn't, like you said, it wasn't marketed. It wasn't something. So the problem with me, and here's what everybody sleeps on. We always talk about the greatest Sky players of all time. Elena Delle Donne, her entire career, Cynthia Fowles, all these other individuals,
both of them,
they go by, and so many people don't even know they existed in the Skies organization because it wasn't marketed, it wasn't televised, and that's something to where it's like they were greats, but you missed that opportunity. And I'll break it down like this, and it's something to where it's a totally different conversation, but I've spent a lot of time there. I've worked there for several years. I work for the Chicago Cubs. I'm looking at Shohei Ohtani right now, and I'm watching the MLB with a huge whiff on how much they could market this kid for being not only the face of baseball, but the face of athletes. Like, this kid could be one of the most generational players to ever play a sport. And you're talking about, I haven't even seen this kid on one commercial. That's what we're talking about. And it goes far more than just the W. We're talking about tennis, lacrosse, Paul Rabel in lacrosse, in the National Lacrosse League. He's played in more leagues than when I went to school. And that's just real. And it comes down to the conversation at the end of the day is if you don't market the shit, we ain't going to see it. So you might dunk a basketball as Lisa Leslie, but unless, JB, like I said, if we're at the barbershop and I hear that, I'll be like, oh, cool, I'll tune in. But where am I supposed to go when I see it on the side of a bus, when I see it on a billboard, when I see it on a commercial? That's when you're supposed to start to see it. I shouldn't just hear it from somebody else.
Right. Well, that marketing got to come from within.
100%. But that's where the financial aspect of it all comes for viewership. And that's where I think, it's just got to continue to grow. And not only do women need to start supporting other women, I think men need to start supporting this as well. Because, we're seeing Damian Lillard out there. We're seeing Zach LaVine. We're seeing Devin Booker, CP3. LeBron's out there watching this. I think it's funny. And, hey, it's no disrespect. I'll never body shame anybody. But I know a lot of dudes, where I'm from, it's all these little white boys behind a computer screen saying it's a layup competition. But at the end of the day, these kids couldn't even make JV in high school. Like that's to me where I'm like, real hoopers acknowledge it and real hoopers understand what this is. And it's definitely on its way, bro. And I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, it's definitely, like you said, it's definitely about marketing. Because you brought up a great example as in Ohtani. He's in LA, but the Angels refuse to sit up there and market him for the play there. Now, the crazy part about it is that they'll market Mike Trout.
100%.
I was just going to say they have two market crazy people.
And that's the crazy part. If he was with the Dodgers, he'll probably be marketed. If he was here in Chicago playing for the Cubs or the Sox, especially with a big Asian following like we have here, this man to be marketed like crazy.
So I read a little something into that, and they said it's only because his English hasn't he hasn't progressed in his English as
much. Look here. One thing
that,
I do know about this,
but I'm just saying that's what they're putting out there.
That dude's got a personality.
And you know what I think about that? I think that's bullshit because they will find a way to market it, even if he
100%.
Can't sit up there and speak a lick.
Isn't he on the cover of the baseball game?
On that bitch.
Huh? Yeah, he's on it. He's on there.
Yeah,
but that JB, that's my point though. You're the greatest athlete potentially to ever step on a diamond, and the best I got is on the cover of a fucking video game.
One video game. That's
that nobody really plays anymore. I play it. It's great.
I used to. Yeah, I used
more times than not. Every kid's hopping on 2K. Every kid's hopping on Madden. They don't even promote their own shit for a video game, bro. They just come out with it whenever they feel like it. They don't like Madden will tell you, hey, we're doing the John Madden legacy. We're going to do it. It's going to come out. You could pre-sale own it. You could do this. You could do that. There's so many different ways. The legacy edition. Baseball comes out and it's like, here you go. Fuck it. I don't care. And here's who's on the cover. We got steroids, Tatis, and then whoever else we decide next year. So
man,
steroid Tatis.
we got ringworm on there, and then that's about it. So I'm like, dude, what are we talking about, bro? I don't half the time, and 5 Mile C, let me know. hey, half the time, do you even know when the shit's coming out, or do you have to go find out on your own?
Nah, I gotta find out. I gotta go into fucking GameStop. Like, hey, what games y'all got coming out new?
And they give you a giant list.
JB, right. I'll ask you this. Hey, do you know the WNBA video game?
I know it's available on 2K.
Exactly. They don't even get their own game. Like, that's the self-promotion that I'm talking about. Is like, if I have to go on 2K all the way to the bottom, hit settings, go all the way to the bottom of settings, hit personal, and then find somewhere where it says WNBA just to see a roster where half of the stats are fucking bullshit. It's like, bro, like this needs to be better. And I understand, there's a marketing point of it. If you're not going to get the sales, then you're not going to make the game. And that's how it goes down with anything. That's life. But at the end of the day, you got to shoot your shot, kid, to do whatever you got to do to get your name out there. I'll promote shit for Mike on the Mic or whatever I'm doing for Skytown that has nothing to do with nothing. I went to an all women's cooking group chat on Facebook. I put Skytown there. Anybody give a fuck? Probably not. But hey, it's there and they can see it if they want to see it. And that's to me where, leagues that want to make it like this. Candace Parker's 35. Diana Taurasi's retiring. Sue Bird's retiring. You're missing on all these greats. BG, God bless her, which everything's going on. But you missed out on so many legends right now because you failed to market that. And to me, JB, to answer your question, I know I'm so long-winded with it.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's one of these conversations where, women, and especially women of importance and stature, you look at, the statistics behind leaders in this country, and you look at, Black women, Hispanic women, all types of women, leaders in this country, 9 times out of 10, they played sports growing up. And I think that goes such a long way for whether you come from the projects or whether you come from the burbs, is, you have someone to look up to. And right now, you're looking up to, respectfully, because I love her, Megan Thee Stallion shaking her ass. And you got all these other people, and you're not seeing these women of, you're not seeing these women of power. They're out there. They're just not being promoted through Instagram, through TikTok, through all these other platforms. And that's where I come with it, and that's where, I have my TikTok. I'm not the biggest TikTok guy, but I made it specifically for that. And I promote all of the reports. I report everything we got going on there. And it's been a blast, but I definitely do think you're right. It does need to improve. And it's not just women, it's men too, because all of my homies, when I told them, hey, I'm a reporter for the Chicago Sky, I heard 2 of my buddies said, who? And it's a Chicago thing. It's a South Side thing. I was like, what do you mean who? Me? And they said, who cares? And I was like, oh, damn. Damn. I was like, all right, got me. So I'll let that one slide. But it's that conversation of like, even if your own homies ain't supporting you about something, that's how you know shit's not being marketed. And that's how you know they don't understand what they're talking about. So I think it's going to come in time. What are we, 20-something years into this? So it's definitely the beginning stone, but it's going to get there, I think. Maybe not, NBA level, very long way to go, but it's definitely going to be making some noise.
They need a David Stern.
100%. And you know what? And I mean this with all respect. And I'm not saying anybody in particular, but I do listen to the broadcast when I'm not there. I'm not flying out to New York. I'm not going to Connecticut all the time to go watch games and report. So I usually do it through Zoom. That's how we do our interviews from our away games. When I'm listening to some of these announcers and some of these reporters, I'm like, bro, are you even like, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean? Like it's random guys. It could. Honestly, I could tell y'all it's me up there, and I don't think any of y'all would call me out on it, because they need individuals like Lisa Leslie. They need individuals like JB's naming, Fowles, and all these other people. Once they retire, Sue Bird should be in the booth. Sue Bird should be reporting these games. We should have individuals, pay, even if it costs money, pay out a Charles Barkley, maybe not Charles, but, certain NBA stars that
Charles might not be a good example.
100%. I was working for, not to be too long with it, but I was working for Ice Cube, man. He had me as a reporter for him for the Big Three, and I'm watching these half-court games, and it was dope. It was a cool experience. I saw Mario Chalmers. I saw Ryan Holland kind of do his thing. I saw Ryan Holland dunk for the first time in since before my balls dropped.
Since UCLA.
Yeah, since before my balls dropped, I saw this man dunk on somebody, and I was like, damn, okay. But I definitely couldn't talk shit to him because he was a lot bigger in person. But I see Lisa Leslie, bro. I see Lisa Leslie's the head coach of one of the Big Three leagues, and I'm sitting there, I'm chopping it up with her, and it crosses my mind, and I don't ask her, but I'm like, why are you here? Like, why you should be getting paid millions to be in a booth somewhere, to be coaching like Becky Hammond, to be coaching like all these other individuals. We got shitty former Lakers coaching for teams in the W right now that just got fired. So God bless them.
And then leave Coop alone, man.
Nah, Derek Fisher. I'm coming for
Fish
Derek.
too. Fish too.
Fish was dog shit, bro. It was awful, bro. I'm telling you. But it's something to where right now, you know, and God rest his soul, Kobe Bryant was, to me, that was going to change everything. And like Fal said, man, like you need that face. And to me, I was so hyped. Because I felt like no matter what happens with Gianna Bryant, whether she makes the league or whether she decides she wants to do something else with her career, Kobe was going to be a part of the WNBA. I felt like he was going to be a head coach or an owner at some point.
And that would have changed.
It would have changed everything.
Yeah, because
that would have changed.
If I'm not mistaken,
that would have solved a lot of the marketing issues too.
Yeah, that would have changed the game. If you had him
coaching, didn't Magic Johnson own one of the teams though too?
I think Magic Johnson should stay away from the W and a lot of other
Magic
things.
Johnson should just stay away from a lot of shit because he sounds crazy as fuck.
He makes a lot of positive impacts in all the wrong places, so I'm not really with that.
Hey, y'all are not on here dogging Magic, man. Now cut it out.
No, I love Magic. But
I love Magic. Hey, check out on HBO Max right now. It's a great film. It's awesome.
Did you say Winning Time?
Oh, Winning Time. Is it Showtime?
Winning Time. Yeah, no. It's Winning Time, but that's what I was going to actually tell you. I'm like, they need to find that way, just like how they had Jerry Buss, where Jerry Buss.
Right, and I love that point you made. It was Magic versus Bird, and I think that's that conversation right now. Right,
they need to find that.
And for me, what it was, and you know, we're not going to get political on it. You know, I'm not going to sit here and scream my piece about it. But, you know, Diana Taurasi versus Candace Parker in the finals last year with Brittany Griner. You know, you have Courtney Vandersloot.
They missed the opportunity.
It was huge. And to everybody thinking they were going to run that back this year and everything that happened with BG, it was really crushing. And it's one of those conversations. It's obviously it's bigger than basketball. I could give a fuck about the finals right now. I care more about BG and her well-being. But it's definitely
that's what pisses me off, Mike, because let's just say if it was, and I'm not even going to say somebody, because BG is pretty big as far as WNBA stature is concerned. If it was a lower tier NBA player, he'd have been.
Oh my God! If it was Cristiano Felicio, there'd be riots about it. You know what I mean? Like, and my biggest thing about it, and you know, like I said, I ain't gonna have all these anti-Russia people coming into your chat, so we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But I think it's one of those conversations where, you know, she's been doing that for years, and it's been perfectly fine. And the only reason it was different is because that's what, unfortunately, that entire country is based off of. Maybe not the people within there. I've heard they love BG. They want her.
What did you say earlier? Politics.
Literally, and that's what it is, man. She pulled up, and they saw an opportunity, and now someone named I don't even know what his name is. It sounds terrifying. He sounds like something out of fucking Gotham City. One of the biggest drug lords in Russia is getting, you know, traded away for BG potentially. Look up his name. It's something terrifying. I wouldn't want to fuck with him, but it's something to where it's like, you know, that shouldn't even be a conversation. You wrongfully brought this girl. You invited her, first of all. And now you're
she played for their team, remember?
Yeah, and you know what the craziest part about that nobody talks about? You know the owner of that team? Do you know where he is right now?
Probably here.
Nah, he got shot in the head by Russian military, and he's dead.
Oh shit. What?
They the way they move about things, bro, is so different, and it's stuff that nobody even talks about. And I think that, you know, and obviously you got to do your homework to find out exactly what I'm talking about. But, you know, BG played on a lot of teams in Russia. But, you know, it's one of those conversations where politics is everything. You look at someone sideways and you might not ever go home ever again. And
that's crazy.
Like we said, though, if that's LeBron, I seen people post it on Twitter. Twitter's crazy. I reshared it, honestly. It said if it was LeBron and it wasn't BG, I would go there myself and seal Team 6 and get Bron back. And that's real, though, because that's how people feel. That's how people feel about LeBron James, and obviously one of the greatest of all time. But let's say it's one of the greatest of all time in Sue Bird. She's the fucking logo of the shit.
Right.
Is anybody gonna care? More times than not, no. And that's the problem, man. It's a life at the end of the day, and I think that's what's so much bigger than basketball, and it's one of the big issues right now for me. But I do apologize on that rant, but it's just one of those conversations where it's like
don't apologize.
Like, why are we even talking about basketball right now? You know what I mean? Like, oh, but if she was an NBA, Yeah, but like that's the crazy part is like, but she's just a person, and there's hella people over there. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say BG needs to be first in line. There's reporters over there. There's people like me and you over there that just have no reason in being over there. North Korea, there's other places where it's just like you got people over there that just spit on the ground, and it was viewed as disrespectful. And it's like they're locked up because they're Americans, and it's a crazy world, bro. It really is.
Yeah, it definitely is.
When is the next Sky basketball game?
Man, I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful transition because I don't know what I was just talking about the last 5 minutes, but we were spitting is what we were doing. But tomorrow night, man.
Out on the ground in Russia, though.
Oh, 100%. But 7 p.m. tomorrow Central. If you're in Chicago, definitely check it out. Wintrust Arena. I'll be there. So if you want to see this beautiful face, you could definitely see it. But if you would rather like foul mouth, go see Rebecca Gardner or Candace Parker. I ain't gonna blame you. I ain't all that. I'm just standing there with a mic in my hand, so it is what it is. But it's gonna be a great game, man, and I feel like no matter what happens at the end of the day, it's gonna be a series for sure. And I think that's something different. As Bulls fans, we know Bulls versus Milwaukee, that shit wasn't no series. It might have been written a series, best of 4. But we all know what it is at the end of the day.
We're all happy they won one game.
Yeah, exactly. But with the Sky, man, I could see them going tick for tack right now. And, I say this more times than not, and I believe this with all sports. The playoffs are a totally different season as a whole. So right now, the Sky went into this 4-0 against them this season, and they got bodied the way they did. Candace Parker, though, 18 points, 19 rebounds, or 19 points, 18 rebounds. What a dog. You can't expect nothing less from her. It's everything. It's everything right there. So, and I loved it. I don't know if y'all watched the game, but end of the game, Suns celebrating. Everybody's dancing around like they just won a fucking championship because this is the first time they've won in 7 games against the Sky.
They're gonna pay for that.
Everybody else walked out into the locker room. Candace Parker's standing there, and she watched the whole fucking thing. And I've talked to her time and time again. She remembers. I'll tell you something about this woman.
Vengeance.
She remembers every loss, every bucket ever hit on her, every game-winning loss, everything. She remembers all of it. And I saw her take that minute, and she just stared at them celebrating. I don't know how you can top 19 and 18, but I wouldn't fucking show up to game 2.
25 and 25 tomorrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't show up to that game. I would not.
And you know what's so crazy, Mike? You sit up there and said, like, the Sky, they sell out probably more than any WNBA team.
100%, bro.
You want to know why that is? Because they're fucking shy, and that's what we do, baby. God damn it. We sit up there. Any fucking sports team that's winning Chicago shows the fuck out. That's what we do.
Except for the Fire, but I ain't going to speak on that. But,
that's like the second time you done diss the Fire.
I'm just saying, like, you know what it is? Today, I was in class, right? I started college today. Terrence asked me, he was like, how old are you? And I was like, oh, don't worry, bro, I'm in college. But we were sitting here, man. I was sitting in class, and I'm one of the biggest sports fans out there, man. That's how I feel about myself. I'm sitting there. This girl goes, man, I love the Chicago Fire. And my professor goes, where do they play? And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, where the fuck do they play, man?
I'll tell you where they used to play. Wow. Is because that was right next to my high school is where they used to play.
Dude, I'm telling like I know sometimes
Toyota Park. It was called Toyota Park. It was in Bridgeview.
Right. But I was like, damn, I really don't know, bro. I'm Northwest too.
That was the only reason I knew.
Yeah, I know sometimes they're
I don't think they play there anymore though, because the Chicago Fire averaged 9 attendees a game pretty much.
And it's the players.
Yeah, it might have been, the bench players. But all I remember is they gave a lot of money to my high school, got us a new gymnasium, a new arboretum, allowed us to play our home football games there for 1 full year. It was awesome. And we probably sold out more as a high school football team than they did as a Chicago Fire soccer.
100%, bro. Hey, that's no Fire slander, though. I apologize.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
We need to bring back the Chicago thing.
We can bring up the Chicago Fire all we want, but guess what? Like how Foulmouth was saying, it was like, if you guys bust your ass, work hard, and win games, Chicago's gonna love you.
100%.
The only Chicago Fire I watch is the TV show that comes on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that's a good show. Go Fire.
That's the only Chicago Fire I watch.
Hey, you know what?
Sure their ratings is high.
I'll say this too. If you look up Chicago Fire on Google right now, I don't know if any of y'all can do it. I promise you, if you look at images,
I am doing it right now.
It's all of the TV show, bro. You don't get one soccer picture. I promise you, I did it this morning. I was like,
no. I searched just Chicago Fire. First thing it says tickets buy it. Soldier.
Nah, that's because it's
comes up
listening
as
to
the
us.
TV show.
It's
What
fucking
kind of
listening
group will
to
you
us. It
got?
knows exactly what we're doing.
Look, I was gonna say it don't show the picture of the cow kicking over the ladder.
That's what I'm saying, though, bro. You click images, bro. All you see is
Images?
the TV
Let's
show.
pop up images and see. Yeah, it's all the
crazy.
show on images.
It's all the show.
Every
It's
single
all the
one of
show.
it is the show
It's
on
all the
images.
show. But hey,
It's
Mike,
crazy,
man,
bro.
we appreciate you coming on, man.
It's
Talking
funny.
about the sky and educating us, because I will admit I am not a WNBA watcher.
It's all good, bro. It's all
I'm
good.
not.
We got room for you.
But I'm gonna try to start. Because
I'll tell you right now.
it's
I always
exciting
say that-
basketball, the little bit that I have seen.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
always say
not just all
WNBA.
layups. I've actually seen a couple of them dunk. So
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
fly, bro. They fly for sure.
I've been watching it. Because C. Coop was a dog.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not dissing the NBA
Man.
whatsoever. I'm not dissing the NBA whatsoever, but I mean, I don't feel like they play for the love of the game like the WNBA.
No, and that's what
Like,
I think.
and that's a big thing of my viewing ability. This is why I'm a huge hockey guy. In case you,
Yeah.
I'm a massive hockey guy.
Oh, I could hear it in your voice, bro. 100%.
Yeah. With all my fake teeth in my mouth and scars on my
hockey
face.
guy.
But when it comes down to hockey, they make the highest paid NHL player makes $10 million a year.
Right.
That's how much like a bullpen catcher makes in baseball.
Exactly.
Like
to blow games. Like Josh Hader is blowing games right now.
They bust their ass. They play with broken ankles, broken arms. They do whatever, and that's what I love. And WNBA, they play for the love of the game.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because most of them got actual jobs outside of the season.
Yeah, man. And a big part of it too is like, and I've compared it to, and it's, I always say this with the utmost respect. That's why I love high school basketball so much, because high school basketball, it's such a huge thing, and that's what brought me to the WNBAs. There's this shorty I was with a long time ago. We ain't gonna talk about her, but we know she's down bad right now, but it's all right. But we were watching the WNBA. I'm like 16, 15 years old. We're watching it, and I'm like, bro, like, this is strategic. Like, it matters who your head coach is. You look at the NBA, man, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, all these other cats. It's like, I don't give a fuck if JB's there. They'll be straight. They'll be fine. They're gonna dunk it. They're gonna shoot threes. It's gonna be what it is. But at the end of the day, when you look at the W, it's so important into what scheme you're running and what you're trying to do defensively, and that's what James Wade always preaches, is defense. And it's something you'll actually see in a WNBA game is hardcore defense, and I love every minute of it. Like, you're watching motherfuckers get elbowed and there's no calls. I love every second of it, because it reminds you of what it reminds you of what the league used to be in the NBA before it is what it is now. Guys at half court, all right, we're chucking it from 50. And it's like, why? What are we doing? You know what I mean? And that's why I love this Bulls roster, mainly because they really don't have 3-point shooters. But, they just get to play the game they want to play. And you still can kick it out to Caruso or Zoe or something like that and do your thing. I do think at the end of the day, man, like, if you want to watch good schemed basketball, good defensive basketball, that's the W 100%. And that's where they need to hit on it.
Yeah, I mean, even looking at the WNBA, the NBA, I mean, it's, in my opinion, it's more fundamentally sound. It's a better game. If they're playing basketball, it's not like you got one dude that's going to torch the whole team. Like, they got to play together. Like, and that goes into the defense and everything. So I think
100%.
if you like, that's why LeBron and all those guys always go, because if you like the game, it's a better game to watch. Like, sure, it's not doesn't have all the flash and the dunking and all that other stuff, but like, just for the game of basketball, it's a good watch.
100%.
In my opinion.
No, you're 100%. Like, I haven't tuned in as much as that I used to, but
hey, JB, we'll get you there, bro. We'll get you there. We'll fly you out.
No, not because
we'll fly you out tomorrow, bro.
Like, I used to look. I'm gonna give you a little history. I was good friends with Stacey Dales, and when the Chicago Sky wasn't that good,
why the fuck hadn't she been on this show then?
Well, she worked for ESPN and she do her thing. But we were going to the game when it literally was like 200 people.
Right. No, but that's what it is, bro. It's like,
I've seen the evolution.
Right. And that's what I was coming from with it, and not to beat a dead horse on it, but it's like, all right, so imagine you're at Wintrust Arena, JB, and instead, it's the first year of the NBA. Let's say it's in the 90s. dude, you think anybody would have been seeing Michael Jordan or talking about him? It would have been in the newspapers for sure, and it slowly would have built because of that. But that's that conversation right now to me, and that's where I love where the Sky are at, because it's Chicago, it's Chi-Town being able to do this is potentially make it one of the first.
The pavilion to US to Wintrust in itself was huge.
Oh, I mean, it's honestly it's one of my favorite arenas. It's just so easy to get everywhere. It's not I love Soldier, but I get lost every time I walk in the Soldier Field. Like, that's just what it is. I get lost in the parking lot trying to get past the tailgate. But it's a conversation right now though where it's like we're sitting here and you're understanding, like, that's Candace Parker. That's Candace fucking Parker. And 20 years from now, people are going to be like, damn, like, you know, how much money did she make? 200,000. And that's going to sound fucking insane when you talk to guys like me that are going to be like 40 something years old, 50 something years old. It's going to be like, yeah, man, it wasn't shit, but they're going to get there. And I think it's just all going to come about time. And if the Sky could be one of the first real dynasties in the W, I mean, there have been a couple, but one of the first back-to-back dynasties that could really run the board, it's going to be exciting, man. And I think it's going to be something dope.
Absolutely.
Well, hopefully we'll see. I guess it's just a wait and see game.
100%.
But like I said, I'm gonna try to start tuning in more because I want to see good basketball instead of the Bulls. So yeah, we'll see what happens, man. But Mike, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you, bro.
Man,
Tell
anytime,
Candace I said what up.
I will, man. I appreciate you guys.
Mike, keep in touch though. Keep in tune with us.
Always, man.
All right,
y'all.
Take care, Mike.
Oh, Tues.
T gonna knock his damn self
Yeah,
out.
oh wow. hey, Q, where are you at right now?
Washington State.
So you have Elena Deladon out there with you all. She's out there with the Washington team.
No, we got
you said Washington State. I'm sorry. Seattle. Okay, the Storm, right? They're in it right now. Okay.
Was that your kids walking by?
Like, shouldn't they be in bed? It's school night. 11 p.m. What the? That phone's about to get taken away, girl.
Like that's behind that.
Did that remind anybody of watching Bobby Boucher and when they were doing the interview, the mother was in the back?
My dog's gonna win 30-27.
I said what I said.
Oh boy!
Oh wow! What a great show, guys.
We have been talking for almost 3 hours.
It's past my bedtime.
3, but yeah, and Q has like 58 kids.
Hey, look how cool they came through the door yesterday. We go all night.
I told you that's the best place to be. That's where they ain't gonna be at.
They lined up in the bed. All 58 of them in the bed sleep.
No, it ain't but 8:54 right now, and they don't even start school till September 6th. So I heard some stuff.
What? You've been in school 3 weeks. You said September 6th.
I'm already in week 4.
That's when they start.
Damn.
Just don't know when you got it good.
Yeah, well, guys.
Grave.
Yeah, them grays. You got more than me, bro.
Them grays.
I don't know about that one.
Hey, Terrence, you're pretty great.
Yeah, you got that great Lovey Smith beard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Where did that come from and why?
Like, yippee-ki-yay, gray motherfucker.
I just felt like I wanted to say it, but I was like, Bruce, go ahead, say that. Say that, Bruce. But yeah, man. So why don't we go ahead and get some shout outs?
He's frozen, and all I hear is
I know.
It frozen again
because he'd be froze, and then he started talking, and he unfroze, and then when he started talking again, he froze back.
Right.
Hey, it looked like our old boy that Bernie Mac was talking about.
Bernie Mac, man. Gotta miss him, man. Damn.
Oh God! What is happening right now?
Yeah, it's turning into a movie quote podcast.
Okay, am I good now?
No.
So I guess you are good. Shit.
All we see is the wall. We don't see you.
You know you're not frozen.
Right.
Well, let's just go ahead and do some shout outs anyway. And this time we can start with our guy Q.
Oh man, shout outs, man. Look, I just appreciate y'all for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Anytime, hit me up. As long as I can hide from my kids, it's like a break. Shout out for my kids for not popping in here those 2 hours or however long I've been on here. Even though I was nervous, I've been looking back like shit. It's too good to be true. Something might have happened. Something might have happened. I'm almost scared to leave out the room because something happened. But no, I mean, I just appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate you guys, and that's all I got.
Yes, sir.
All right, found mouth.
Damn, huh? Me, huh? Fuck,
wow. You, bro.
Hey,
wait, before we go and shout out to Munslifer, I love you, brother.
Olin too. Let's not forget about Olin.
Oh my God!
Hey, you gonna get a call later, Q? You gonna get one?
He's like, what the fuck you talking about our guys for? My bad,
I said
it was foul mouth. Foul mouth got me stirred up. I tried not to say nothing. He told me don't be a bitch, so I had to say something.
You got a problem with it. Here's foul mouth.
What was that about
that shit down right now. He said he'll leave the door open for you.
Right, exactly. The door's wide open always. Let me give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to you fellas. It was great. Q, Frank the Tank, JB, T Nick. Our boy Mike hopped on, gave us some knowledge and some info about the WNBA. Go Sky. Hope you ladies bring it home. Hi, Candace. Let me see. Don't stop playing that damn music, man. Fuck
that could hit us by Sony. Maybe we shouldn't play that music because Sony
might be listening.
While you're frozen again with that freaking face.
How is it he's frozen but the damn music is playing? Like, stop.
I know, right?
Let me see. Let me give
we
a
could all
shout out
sit
to,
here and just try to get his picture down here.
Everybody in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe to the Chicago Clubhouse Podcast. Shout out to the kiddies who asses are up right now. I don't know the fuck why. And I'm not gonna take their phones. I'm gonna be lenient today. And shout out to my mom. Shout out to all of our moms that's all out there that may have been watching, may not have been watching. And shout out to my family and shout out to my baby because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna pay for all that high candy shit later. So.
Yeah, come on, next podcast with a black eye.
I know, right? Busted lip and shit, nose broken.
Blame Olin.
Right. Yeah.
I said the doors open.
Hey, he come through. Hey, I ain't said the lights was gonna be on when his ass came in here.
From what I hear, he's a black belt. So if you try to attack him in the dark, he might still be getting you.
I know a few body moves myself. Shit, I've been training a little bit.
Shit, skinny Olin might be more dangerous than football Olin.
Right.
Come on, T, with your frozen ass, man.
Black belt too. Ready? If we can get it here.
Damn,
you look real Asian right there, man.
JB, are you frozen? No, you're.
I'm trying to I'm waiting for Terrence to say something.
Which one of y'all ass want to go? Don't be all kind and nice to each other now.
I'll go.
You hit it.
Wait, what? Hey.
That is Frank. That is Frank.
Oh, wait, put that back up again. I'm totally rocking that outfit next Tuesday.
George Costanza is Frank.
Yes, that is Frank.
Oh, God. Hey, Q, I have to apologize, man, because...
Yeah, it's past our bedtime, Q.
Oh, hey, look, I'm with it. I'm here for it, man.
That was just bad.
Hey,
he had to get me back with the Lovey Smith one that I posted up him earlier.
And now this son bitch unfrozen. Watch, he gonna freeze in 5 seconds.
Right.
Next time you hear grown folks talking, shut the fuck up here.
He talking to your ass.
There you go, he froze.
All right. Hey, let me go and get my shouts out. Hey, shout out to my P1, my moms. Q, that's my mom that was talking in there. So shout out to her as always, big fan. Hey, shout out to Kyler Gordon's mom. Eva Marie chimed in.
Yeah.
Love having her on it.
Mama Gordon.
Yep. Shout out to SB. Shout out to any family and friends that I have watching throughout the chat. Chat has some real consistent people in it tonight. I know we had more lurkers than we did actual people that commented. Don't forget, shout out to Sonny Parker. We kicked it off with some Chicago hoops.
Yeah, damn. Shout out to Sonny.
Absolutely. You know, like I said, I relived a little bit of my little teenage days going to that camp and stuff. So shout out to him. Shout out to Jabari. Shout out to Chicago as a whole. You know what I'm saying? It's no other state I'd rather be in and no other city I'd rather be in. You know, shout out love to the folks.
Yeah, shout out to Terrence. It looked like he's digging in his nose when he froze right now.
I was gonna say my number one shout out is gonna be to Terrence's internet network for giving us a nice laugh on this podcast freaking show. Good internet provider. What did we always say? What internet provider was it?
That ain't Aldi. That's got to be like
Aldi's internet provider is what we got with T-Nick going right now.
Y'all gonna get off Aldi's.
But other than that, chat was lit. JB's mom. Always love seeing you on here. Mike, great. Q, loved having you on here as well, man. Sonny Parker, great. Had a lot of people on for the chat, so I mean, we'd be on for another half hour for me going through that chat, so we're not going to do that right now. All of you guys, as I always say every episode, love these Tuesdays. Always look forward to these Tuesdays. We have a damn good time talking about sports, man. And that's what this podcast is about. That's what we're hoping we keep bringing more and more people back for. So that's all I got.
Am I still frozen?
No,
are you moving?
If you don't move too much, you will be.
Get the
shout out to Bellis Jones. Bellis Jones. But shout out to everybody that was in the chat. Even if you did not participate, shout out to y'all too, but you are officially lurkers. But we appreciate you anyway because you put up with our foolishness. Shout out to you, Q. This is your second time back, man. You're always so gracious and have great insight as to what we're talking about. And your sense of humor is immaculate, man. And shout out to your 58 kids too.
Hey, yeah. Every time you say them, I gotta look back. Shit. I thought, what else? Like they be coming through the vents and shit. Like my boys, something downstairs. I don't know. I'm telling you, it's quiet. Like in the Chicago Clubhouse podcast after party, you're gonna go through Q's house in a minute and see what's fucked up.
Yes.
Right, hit the after hours. Like, stay tuned in.
Right.
Clubhouse after dark.
See, look, I'm here. Shit, I'm nervous now.
I saw Frank get excited. Shout out to the All-Star team, man. Frank, Foulmouth, JB, man. I'm telling you, wouldn't be no show without y'all. Because together, we're all knuckleheads. And we make fun, man.
That don't know shit.
They don't know shit, but think we do. We think we know shit. We think we know a lot of shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who tell us we know shit. We're really good at not knowing shit. I mean, something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Y'all just persuasive. That's all.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word. Persuasive.
Exactly.
Yep, but we don't know shit. But all of these other motherfuckers that's claiming they know shit, they don't know. They just know the same shit we know.
We do know Mustafa is a marshmallow, though. I know that.
Hey man, y'all don't get off of it.
I'm gonna tell you this right now, Olin. My door's locked. I
ain't getting ass whooping.
I ain't letting you in, Olin.
Hey Q, we ain't never gonna get Olin on the show now.
I've given Mustafa a lot of love.
I gotta say, he might unfollow me on Instagram. Dudes be petty sometimes.
Yo, do the baby out with
Tell me about it. Tell me about it.
We never did talk about Eddie Jackson on how he's doing. Oh, he didn't play this preseason because of Marshmallow.
Actually, he did.
He played like 4 snaps, dude.
He missed like 4 snaps in the first tackle too.
He did miss one tackle. I saw that.
This is shout outs.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we can shout down.
We know how long this shit can go.
Hey,
we don't have enough time.
Hey, Chris, shout out to fried Oreos.
Yeah, shout out to the fried Oreos, my girl.
I actually forgot to bring that up.
Moore's Beer. Shout out to Moore's Beer. Creamalicious ice cream. I'm telling you, that peach cobbler ice cream.
Hey, that sounds like a stripper.
That peach cobbler ice cream was ridiculous.
Hey, Frank is a complete nut
Frank
job
is
right
not
now.
frozen. Frank is not frozen.
But your ass is again.
I'm frozen again?
Yeah, you're always frozen, dude. That's why I'm doing that.
God damn it. Okay. You know
everybody
what?
do the parents. Everybody act like they frozen.
My bad. I had to do my eyes to see if everybody else was doing it. Y'all was fucking with me. So
everyone has a close-up cam on their thing.
Right.
Frozen cam.
All right. Well,
you still act like you frozen.
I ain't gonna say shit else, man, because it's time. It's time to go. It's time to go. Maybe my internet is telling me get your ass off the damn internet because it's time to go. So I ain't got shit else to say, y'all.
I guess we out.
Right.
Okay. Well, if y'all ain't got shit else to say, then
shout out to Tilly's.
Oh yeah, Tilly's. I can't forget about Tilly's, man. Oh, and next week.
God damn, man! I thought we were talking motherfucker over here.
Just giving him one more chance to freeze.
I'm just gonna say next week. Next week we have a Jason Weaver on Shy from the Shy, and also Love Ambition. And
now you're on a delay on that. Right?
We're gonna switch it up a little bit. Anyway, okay. You know what?
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
Look at
You
this.
got like China TV right there with all those delays. Oh, we got him frozen.
I'm gonna freeze on your ass now.
We got him frozen.